and then all of a sudden the series can start tilting in your favor.
It's going to be tough. I think this is going to be a very momentum-based series, and I think Ascent being the first map is really going to be a big one. It's been a 50-50 map for M80 all year long. Not only have they lost to the Guard both times they played them on this map, they've also just generally been a little bit, again, 50-50 on the map across all competitions. So, meanwhile, the Guard has only lost this map once, Shift. They have such a massive record on this map.
All right, well, the winner gets everything. The loser gets nothing. And the first bit of action happening over towards B main immediately. Nice little counter utility coming out, though, from M80, holding on and finding first blood. Shock Dart does find some value here, though, for the offense, and a huge first opener for Tex and the Guard as they make their way on for site. They get the plant. And Trent actually is trying to challenge this heavy setup for M80 right on top of the doors opening through market. M80 need to make a decision on how they want to try to break this open. Xander gets the first. Now there's information for the Guard that there are two members playing inside of B main. But how do you clear this out? Someone's got to hit. EU provides the first, not the second. Now the 1v1. John Cutie playing up against Net. And well, Net is actually going to make a perfect timing commitment to get in towards this site. Killjoy using the utility to get down. Timing of this is everything. John Cutie's going to try to hold this. But the shot looks like it will land, and Net will be able to open up with the opening pistol.
What a wild way to kick off these grand finals. Just a slobber knocker of a pistol round, back and forth. It went the entire way. It went from 5-on-5 to 4v4 very quickly on this B executes. Very tough stuff, but Tech stretches a huge entry to allow that spike to go down. This double B main play winds up working out well enough for Net to come up with the hat trick. I feel like Net is very often underrated as a Sentinel player, but he has been doing fantastic in Ascension. He's actually #2 in KD and #6 in kills per round and top 10 ACS and ADR. So Net's been on one in Brazil.
You saw the statistics pop up during the pregame show. The Guard are unbelievable in pistols, winning over 70% of the pistols through Ascension so far. So that is something we got to keep our eye on throughout the entirety of this best of 5 series. Follow-up round, though, we'll see a pretty heavy amount of purchase still coming out on the other side for M80. You have a Marshall and a couple of Ghosts, so there is some firepower here for M80 on their second defensive attempt.
Indeed, that Marshall and those Ghosts are going to be the ticket to M80 trying to pull one over early on the Guard. They're actually stacked in the right location as the Guard are indeed looking to gather up and hit this B side, it seems. They do have a lurk still, though, at Tree with Net, who could be an insurance policy on a backstab, or he might even call them over if they start running into trouble.
Oh, Qualinuk does hit the first shot. The Guard will back off and then immediately head over towards Tree side. But look at Xander. He hasn't fully moved off this yet. So he will still possess the top side of these ramparts, but can you read this cross as M80 trying to make their way across spawn? Contact is made, and Tex is actually going to be able to work his way in still with the rest of the squad. So the contact for Net not personally great. Xander able to at least put together one paranoia out, trying to follow up on that, but the offensive paranoia is there to counter. Tex able to put together a couple of kills amidst the Fallon, and yeah, the cleanup pretty darn solid here for the Guard.
Yeah, really well done. Net just got so much information and was able to get in a very key position to hear how many players were rotating over from B, which meant that the Guard knew kind of what the numbers were looking like on the A side itself. Xander did a great job hiding under Heaven, getting the paranoia on Generator, and picking up a couple of frags and keeping things interesting. But in the end, the Guard understood the lay of the land, were able to work their way through the situation with the superior firepower, just peeking off each other from Generator and making sure that that round never really spiraled out of control. And so they will go up 2-0. Again, this is a map that they have a 12-1 record on for the year. If you also include that Bloodwood Tarek Invitational, as well as everything they've done in Challengers, their only loss was to G2. That was 11-13 shift. So, I mean, not much but perfection for the Guard, and particularly it's defensively where they've been their strongest. Near 70% defensive win rate. They're only just over half on attack, but they're already off to a hot start.
Little opening spam coming out for the defense, trying to control B main, and how about that from Nismo? Quality also turns the face up towards the double hit through market. Net does put together 2 in response, but this would have to be a 1v5 for him. And well, he's going to get completely taken by his 2-member stack here at mid, you would think. Paranoia gets hit. That should be enough for Xander to finish off the kill, and it will be. So M80 get on the board with their first full purchase, and they really don't lose that much in the process either.
Yeah, we kind of just go with the typical bonus pattern as far as economics go, as far as a 2-1 start being displayed, but now we'll have full buy versus full buy. There is the only ult available for the attacking side. That's going to be for Tex. Just nice B main aggression here from M80, able to get the bulk of it. Net was kind of the solo lurk through middle. Gets a couple, but that's really going to be it. Pretty clean win, all things considered, as we get into, again, that first full buy. And again, what you're going to notice is the guard on this map in particular does like to slow it down sometimes. Just play like a methodical mid-control. They're not as explosive as M80 is. They're very dynamic in how they can play this map. And I think that's what makes them so strong, Shift, is the different styles of VALORANT they're capable of playing, because you never know when that pacing shift is going to happen.
And I think that actually is a huge attributing factor to what their growth looked like throughout the entirety of this year. Because I think you go back to stage 1, you talk about M80, and it's just like, yo, these guys are just going to run at us and just out-frag us. But they've definitely matured a bunch and maybe taking a couple of things away from the card in terms of strategic little setups are concerned, as Quality will get first blood through mid. Does not stop Tex from popping the blades and try to maybe even find a way in. But the control here, honestly, really solid for M80, and Tex still cannot approach with 53 seconds on the clock.
That's the thing about when guard plays slow like this. M80 are a team that likes to be very proactive. They're going to try to peek you and disrupt you and try to unsettle you. And that's exactly what Quality was able to do off that catwalk push. And they also just got shut down at B main by utility, so they're trying to make the pivot through tree. There's an A crossfire, though, through this door. And a great stun comes in, and that completely locks Tex down.
Really well done. Quality getting another through the smoke, as now all of a sudden the guard have to commit through tree door to get in, and they have the crossfire is so darn good. Last one standing was Valen, but Qualinoob opening up with one and then shutting down the initial push here towards A. Tilts the edge in favor of the defense, and M80 have tied us up at 2.
Yeah, big hat trick there from Qualinoob. Again, he was in top 5 in almost every metric for the entirety of Challengers in North America, leading the field in first kills per round and #1 in KD. He's also second place in kills per round in ACS. So far at Ascension, he's in the top 5 in almost every metric except for KD and clutch percentage, where he's still in the top 10. And so he has really been able to carry over a lot of the same form you saw in NA Challengers here to the Ascension stage, and that was a big round for him there to win the opening gun round.
How about this?
And yeah, you're right. Look at this.
A little bit of a hodgepodge buy here for the guard, but there's a Bucky and knives out for Qualinoob. So talk about a bit of an X factor here, and look at the aggression from M80 taking over all of A. Follow-up smoke allows Qualinoob to exist here completely concealed, and the guard are essentially trapped right now outside of B main.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just a hard read from M80. Typically, the guard, when they play a default, there's only one person maybe playing over towards the A side, and so in their mind, they're going to isolate that guy, maybe get the frag, or they're just going to be able to get the map control and the intel and be able to quickly rotate over to B, which is exactly what they've been able to do. And again, the counter utility has been so strong. They're just keeping the guard choked at main. Net gets through, but with such amount of damage being taken away from him.
And the offensive paranoia has already been spent, so this is just going to be John Cutie trying to hold his life with just the entirety of the utility kit, but Tex still finds the first tap. EU trying to hold on to the site, but it's Joe to best him. And then the follow-up not going to be there at all. Wow, clean entry from the guard considering the circumstances. And now it's just down to Qualinoob. And, well, don't sleep on him, but the right click misses, and Tex will shut it down for the guard to take the edge.
Yeah, really clean entries there from the guard. Again, M80 had some good information with that A push, but they were yet to rotate over a 4th player. There's still really only 2 on site and a 3rd floating back hall, so guard's still able to find a bit of a timing there, as Tex has been absolutely phenomenal for the guard. Again, he was one of those guys in NA Challengers who's top 5 in every metric throughout the year, and so far here at Ascension, Tex is #1 in first kills per round. He's top 3 in average damage per round and kills per round, as well as ACS and KD. So, I mean, the guy has been an absolute stud in the duelist role for Ascension.
Yeah. Huge round right there for the guard. Kind of tilts the economy back to level terms as the approach immediately gets on towards A. The defense not in position to even contest this in whatsoever. Spike for Valen, now being planted on the default position. And for M80, no ults to try to retake this. This has to be done the hard way. And as the lockdown gets earned, it's immediately spent. M80 have to hold off this retake a little while longer.
Yeah, no way to cancel that out, so they just have to wait it out, which is allowing them to put more and more post-plant utility on top of the spike. Nice kill there from Xander on the flank. That's going to open up a new route for the retake for M80 and make things a little bit tougher on guard.
Prowler also clears out a lot of space just in front of health. Valen still positioned down low, not on a lot of health. Xander gets one, though, as he drops on in. Qualinoob mixed up just a touch. Valen's still on 5 HP, but M80 get the full surround. They envelop the site and then capitalize with every single kill. Plenty of time for the defuse. We'll go 3-3.
Really well done there from M80. That flank, I feel, meant everything to them to be able to get into A main, to open up another route onto the A site, not allow the guard to get really settled into the post plant. You figure with that lockdown, with the killjoy utility, they can start backing off into A main, play under heaven as well, and just have really good holding positions. But M80 broke that open with the flank, and they wasted no time just spilling it afterwards. That's the big thing about M80 Shift is they're so decisive. When they decide to pull the trigger, there is no hesitation. Yeah. And that's one of their big strengths, just being able to gather up together, play off of one another, trust each other is the big thing with trades and get the job done.
We've got null commands on both sides at the ready for this round number 7. Outside of that, it's just Valen who does have it from the shadows. Qualanu peeking, finding the first. Prowler's out, hold on a second. No follow-up here from Valen. Really wanted it, but could not quite collect. And with that, we go 5v4. Tex trying to open up some space towards A, but he will not be able to make contact.
Yeah, again, M80 are doing such a good job being aggressive on the periphery of the map against the guard default and finding initiative. But look at this ult, as you said, into window room. I feel like M80 is keen about it. Xander's just barely avoiding this fragment, by the way, but does get taken down by the rifle anyhow. And so the guard get on site with advantage.
And Valen does go 1 for 1 with that teleport, so it gets us to a 3v3. Nightfall at the ready gets immediately spent. Here comes M80 quickly trying to break down this post plant. They get the first 2, no worries. Qualanoob working on the ace. The last player's down low. Trent will find 1, but no, Nismo shuts him down, and whoa, we've got fireworks here early for both these two teams. Back and forth we go. M80 up 4-3.
M80 doing work. I mean, the last time they played against the GAR was the Uprise semifinals on this map just 5 days ago. They only got 2 defensive rounds in the second half of that game after having a slow start on the attacking side. We've already seen them surpass that with 3. They've kept this game very close. The economies are very tight for both these teams as well because these rounds are coming down to these 2v2 side situations. It's getting very intense. Again, I think the big credit I want to give M80 that we're seeing throughout this half so far is how willing they are and how successful they have been in playing against the guard's default by challenging the edges of the map where they think that they might be able to find a 1v1 or maybe even a 2v1 and then use that to get information to understand what the guard's trying to focus on. The thing is, though, we have seen the guard already once this half pull the trigger on a pacing change with the very fast execute and get the job done because of it. And you never know when that's coming. M80, again, are a very well-rounded team when it comes to, playing the defaults and mid-rounding and just using team play by manipulating rotations or pulling the trigger on a fast set piece with good utility usage. So that's going to be a battle that you're going to see all series long, really, is just kind of trying to play that mental chess. As the Death said, these teams have played 4 official series against each other already. This is their 5th series, not to mention, potential practice that may have taken place at some point. And so it's going to come down to mind games.
Absolutely it will. And the thing about those mind games is in which rounds are they most prevalent. And just looking at how the statistics have built out, there really is not much to separate these two teams. When they're at full purchase, both teams are incredible. They're the top 2 teams when it comes to being at full buy win percentage. So that's where you feel like I think the critical rounds and the possibility of turning a tide is going to exist here for both these two squads. Who can find a way to kind of command the full buy rounds, get themselves to an eco advantage, even marginally so. And that doesn't just equip to their weapons as well. That's also something we got to keep in mind for things like ultimates down the road too.
I think the other big thing that these two teams have done throughout this tournament is both of them are near 40% success rate in 4v5s.
Yeah.
So even a man down, both these teams have been able to find ways back into the round, which means no round's going to be easy. It's going to be a battle all the way through, but we wouldn't want to have it any other way considering what's on the line. As we see a big market pressure here. Does get 1.
He was hoping for more though with the stinger out. The Oppo also very aware at its position through mid. John just kind of gets through the dark cover completely unbeknownst by Valen. Jonah P tried to tap away at this, but he will not be able to connect. And with that, we'll go to a 4v3 situation, make it a 4v2 as Jonah P also drops M80. Looking good as they just take over the map, and now the spike is down, and Nat has nowhere to go but to fall. 5-3. M80, a little bit of daylight here as we get to the late stages of this first half.
Yeah, kind of an expected result. Not really anything invested in that round for the guard, but now they should be back to a full buy. They have a couple of ults in play, and I'm curious to see what their call is going to be after that timeout as far as how they want to approach this next round. I mean, again, they're a well-rounded team. They have really well-orchestrated set pieces for both sides if they want to go fast early. They also are very good at slowing things down and playing that kind of multi-pressure challenging market and tree simultaneously and leaving their options open and mid-rounding from there. But look at this koala noob. They just don't want to give guard any space, man.
Yep. And that's going to force the guard to have to commit through mid. Valen thinking about just putting his little shadow step right on in towards the point. Xander through tree shuts down the Aldrome but can't contest any further. Now the counter utility from the guard as they try to set up their plan. Rolling Thunder pops out. Knives for Tex in the back line, but it's all about this action from the front at the moment, and it goes 2 for 1 in favor of M80's defense. Jonah P, though, very well, may have to a couple in his sights, and he does. Gets 3 in total. Warthorn up top, how about it? The guard will hold on amidst the Rolling Thunder and get us back to within 1.
And again, that's the team play of the guard coming through. They realize the pressure that they are feeling at mid and B, and so they immediately call the reaction, and everyone's on the same page to make it happen as once. A big round for Jonah P in general. Normally not one that you talk about as like a star of the team, but a very good support element. He's always been very good in clutch situations. And actually in Ascension, he's number 4 in KD ratio on top of being number 6 in clutches. So he has actually stepped it up quite a lot here on LAN. As Tanner called him Jonah Playoffs, he has definitely been doing really well for the squad in that supportive role.
Yeah, that one got me tickled a little bit. So we go into round number 10, 5-4 the count. The guard, a big round there, but again, being pressured, stretched out at M80. Find more aggression leading to success, this time through B main. And how about the pre-fire from Xander? Takes down Tex, that's your big entry for the guard down. Null command at the use, but no, not gonna find entry here. John Cutie shutting things down. Jonah P, the last one left. And this would be a technical 1v5 if he were to find a way to clutch this.
Not seeing that happening. The only thing he really has on his side is a gun and time. That's about it. He's got 9 health, no spike possession. I mean, saving this rifle even seems like it's unlikely. I imagine M80 will give chase. They have enough credits to, you know, try to get this rifle off the board, keep, you know, the guard having to rebuy or even potentially save. Xander's going to get a great off angle here. He's going to be able to find that. So, yeah, no rifle save for Jonah P. Another dominant round win for M80, surviving with 3 players. This has been one of their best ascent performances, I should say, really all year. Again, defensively speaking, they win about maybe half their rounds, but it's the tempo at which they're winning these rounds and how quickly they're jumping ahead. Like, this is the cleanest we've seen them on this defense, in my opinion.
It almost feels a lot like the same story we saw yesterday in their 2 different 2-0s. It's just they're getting away with everything right now.
Right.
And that is a massive issue for the guard, who now very well may be tested by Quality with an op at mid. Oh boy, dark cover comes through, but the guard are fully stacked here. There's the check. First shot lands, and Quality will get out of there. Huge first blood again for M80.
And I mean, that's a big thing. The guard are used to being able to get mid control and challenge this cat and tree position off their default. That's one of their strengths on Ascent. They've done it all year long. But M80 have made it a point to challenge off of catwalk so often this game shift. And I think that adjustment, that read that they are putting into play has netted them so many opening picks. And it has rattled the guard. It has not let them get comfortable in these rounds. Like, sure, they've been able to call some like audible quick pushes to get some rounds on the board, but I feel like every round has been stressful for them.
And it's not even just like the round in full is stressful. It's as soon as the barriers drop. They're stuck here at B main. It's like, are they going to peek us from main? Are they going to peek us through mid doors? Or are they going to peek us through cat? It's come from so many different angles, and now Qualanoob has the benefit of his team's utility to make these shots even easier. And the guard look like they will fall here on just largely pistols, but there were a couple of hero weapons that were purchased this round, so we'll go into the last round of the half with a significant advantage for M80.
30 seconds left.
Again, go look at the guards match against Union, or go look at several of their other Ascension matches that they've played this year. You will see how often they're able to just control the map early,
big time, in the half,
and then be able to test themselves in the tree or test themselves into market and run the site splits from there in the mid round, or, you know, call the audible, go for the quick play, you know, throw some pacing changes in there, you know, keep their opponents guessing. They have not been able to do that so far today. M80 have been the ones dictating the pace every single round. It has been pedal to the metal. They have varied where they push from. They have typically always found success, or at the very least shift, even when they don't succeed, they've never really been punished. You know what I mean? Like, they're able to get back and just play normal from there after their initial feint.
Well, this will be a very explosive round number 12. The knives are already out for Qualanoob, still trying to get aggressive through B main with his operator. Prowler in the midst. Aldrone is there, but the Paranoia will force M80 to get back out of this area. But the Hunter's Fury actually thrown a little bit more passively, and the jump up from Qualanoob follows up with the EU to go 2 for 1 in the opening exchange. And again, the guard cannot find initial entry. Lockdown will be spent. This will be the square peg meeting the round hole, unless, of course, John Cutie can just spam out the lockdown, which he does. The guard will have to rethink.
Yeah, it's a 3v3 situation, but don't count the guard out. They're usually pretty good about figuring situations out. I know this half so far has been a bit of a rough ride, but they are always dangerous when they have time left on the clock and they have equal numbers and they have some time to work things out, talk things through, work together. Valen, though, gonna get caught by John Cutie's Odin there, and Jonah P already on low health is just kind of stuck on an island in the middle.
Yep.
The spike, he can't even feel comfortable reaching for it because he might get caught on the cross for all he knows, and he has to kind of just wait for Net to get in position to see if they can try to work something out together.
30 seconds left.
The problem here is you've got a long lurk from Nismo. Jonah P, like you mentioned, is completely stuck. That was seen over towards Market. Tapping away is Nismo, but he actually misses on a very low HP Jonah P, and all of a sudden, the spike will be collected, the fault line gets avoided, and there's actually a chance here. Or is there? Noob Oppenhand says, not today, Freds. Last one left is Net, and he will be diced up by knives. An 8-4 half. Absolute chef's kiss from M80 in the first half.
That has been about their best defensive score the entire year. There was a couple of times online where they were able to get 9 defensive rounds against some of the, I'll say, quote-unquote, weaker teams in North America. But to get 8 against Guard on LAN on a map they have beaten you on both times you played it this year. By the way, both of those wins, not insanely lopsided, but they did not allow M80 double digits in either of those games. It was 13-8 and 13-7. So to see M80 come out flying with 8 defensive rounds, and that's after losing pistol and like going down the normal bonus pattern, that's big, man.
They never
That's
had to save,
massive.
Dust. They never had to save.
That's very, very key.
So now we go into another key pistol. Talked about the statistic earlier. The Guard well over 70% win rate through Ascension, and they need it badly here. And
Yeah, they are a
full
super
stack
strong
through mid.
team.
EU in position through the dark cover, possibly to find some timing here. Can he land the shots though? That's the biggest problem. And well, as Net also provides a couple of kills, at least some damage on the backside to kind of keep this M80 play pretty well, I would say, claustrophobically put on towards A. Sure, they'll get the spike plant, but this is a very difficult 4v5 situation. Couple of battle back moments, and Nismo off the quick reload actually may all of a sudden turn things in the favor of M80 just when you thought that they were trapped. Couple of key gunfights come out, and M80 take these pistol in the second round.
I thought they were in a little bit of trouble after that initial mid push didn't work, and they missed out on a couple of kills on Catwalk. I mean, I thought, you know, that B-Link push had everything written all over it, but it wound up getting foiled. But nonetheless, M80 get on site, get spiked down, and went out at a man disadvantage, surviving with 3 players when it was all said and done. Very well done. Again, the Guard typically good for around 7 defensive rounds minimum. We've seen plenty of games where they've hit in 10, 8, 9. You know, they've always had high defensive win rates. So to see them start off behind after already going down low in the first half it's a rough sign. We'll see if they can recover.
Couple of pistol upgrades here by the look of it for the Guard. Double stack crossfire also right through Boathouse, and Valen able to help save 1 life, but the trades are good. Trent, little delayed peek. That works out, and the numbers stay to a 3v3. Trent's little jumping right clicks also creating some damage. Tech's trying to follow up on that. Oh, thought for sure he had EU dead to rights. But we get into a 1v2 situation. Net with a Sheriff. And what seems to be 2 low health pools for M80. And he'll upgrade. He's got a Vandal now. First taps. Whoa, what a shot that is from EU. Gets Net down to half HP. Sentry turret will only find so much. Can he get any other utility into the site? Here's the check. No, Xander watching it, collects the kill, and it's gonna be 10 early for M80.
Yeah, you got a little bit concerned for M80 perhaps when you saw Net pick up the rifle and have such a big health pool advantage. And again, Net, certainly a strong clutch player in these types of situations, but M80 able to hold on now up to 10 rounds going into their bonus. Now they do have to rebuy on 3 players, so that will indeed limit what type of capabilities they're going to have on a bonus round like this. As you can see, it's slim pickings, a bunch of stingers, a Spectre, just a 1 rifle on Koala Noob. I feel like Guard need this round.
Oh, they badly
so
do.
Desperately.
Yeah, and it's not even just need to win it. You need to win it cleanly here, just to get your bank account starting to feel a little bit more secure. Koala Noob, first contact. No, doesn't quite hit the shot. Tries to get the one way. How does he do that? Valen, the peak just a little bit too delayed, but Net and Jonah P pick him up, and that'll be a 2-for-1 trade favor in the defense.
Need it will. Nismo wasting no time, pushing the smoke at door to grab a frag to equalize things. Back to a 3 versus 3 as a spike goes down. He is low on health now, though.
No.
But Xander with the Stinger catches Tex up top. And now the spike is able to plant, and the man advantage sits with M80.
And it's going to be so difficult to work through this. Trent, 2 shock towards death already. First one's pretty well placed. But no, Net trying to find a way, a timing to peek, not going to work out. Now the paranoia is through, and Trent is completely stuck. Gonna have to make this thing sing a bit of a song.
Wow.
And no, does not transfer. M80 pull off the anti-eco, get their bonus in, and now they're up 11-4, where you would assume that the guard are gonna have to save again.
Yeah, this is a tough spot here because it's like, do you want to force buy and try to challenge M80 and not give them a free map point, or do you need to just try to play for OT by saving, or do you go a halfway approach? I mean, those are the options you must weigh as M80. I mean, are just taking care of this half in trademark fashion, aren't they, Shift? The explosiveness that they are so well known for. I mean, Qualu wasted no time looking for a brawl, and he goes even, but he holds attention there as well, and that allows M80 to get through main and on site. Double-digit Shift.
Yeah.
And right now, they are way behind.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're getting bested in their own type of play style, it feels like, for the most part. Just not able to find a way to get those mid-round rotates over that we always give them tons of credit for. And now all of a sudden you're down to pistols. You're likely facing down the barrel of what should be a match point situation, or map point rather, situation here for M80. And they've already got some mid-map control. There could be a check here on towards Net. The knife should surely reveal this, and yeah, Qualin's gonna sit here and try to see if he can catch some timing, but it's actually Nismo to stop the aggressive play from the guard deep towards A.
Yeah, I think M80 are doing a good job realizing that the guard are either saving and rolling the dice, or they're force spot, and so they don't want to do anything too crazy. They want to play smart and careful. But oh, as I say that, the shares are starting to come through. Net and Trent good for a couple. Xander at least able to grab one back. He's going to ult back B, make sure the side is clear. The spike will be able to swing, but there is market presence here.
Yes, there is.
That's a great stun, though, on Net to allow them, with that smoke as well, to actually get through with the spike.
Oh, and they delete the Nano Swarm. Extra utilities to make sure nobody peeks through that dark cover. So the spike will make its way on, and it will plant. On the retake attempt, you still have one member sitting in towards market. The rest of the guard are hitting through the defensive side spawn. A bit of a reveal off Trent's utility that there is one member playing over, and the taps are starting to land. The guard are pulling this one back. It's just down to one in the corner, and the Guardian will find the final 2. How about that for the guard?
Really well done from the guard. Getting those 2 picks with the Sheriff gave them a way open. It cracked the door just a little bit. M80, I thought, responded pretty well at Xander ulting to the back of the site. They were able to counter the utility to get up sidewalk and get that spike into B and have a 3-on-3 post plant. But they just got picked apart from that point forward. Trent and Jonah P, huge frags from the 2 of them to bring that one back. And now it's big because the guard elected not to invest on that round, despite the fact that they could have been conceding map point, and they come out on top with the Thrifty. And so they get both. They get to have their cake and eat it too, baby.
Yep.
I mean, that is exactly what they needed to get back into this.
And the cherry on top is you've got the Hunter's Fury still at the ready, and a number of other key defensive ultimates that are right on the fringe of being earned.
Right.
Most importantly, the lockdown null command, very close to being in play here. So the guard have the ability to get some ults online and possibly continue this little stretch.
To M80's credit, though, they're back onto a full buy. They have Rolling Thunder and they have null command, so they have their own powerful punch that they can pack at a moment's notice, as they're, again, wasting no time setting up for an aggressive A split again. That up-tempo playstyle is what they are known for. As soon as their alarm bot gets broken, they set forward.
Hunter's Fury just trying to clean out Catwalk, does not connect. Null command is spent. Net stays away from this engagement, so he's still behind this play at tree. It's Xander who's nearby, as the rest of M80 have found their way on. A brilliant reveal, though, coming out. Allows Trent a lot of information as far as what this post plant could look like. But the contest will not happen yet. We stay 5v5. Rolling Thunder gonna get spent here from the offensive side just to make sure this defense gets a little bit more tested, but Trent finds the first blood. Net getting another one. Waldup trying to slip on through, but no, can't make any good on any connections. So now all of a sudden the lockdown's in play. The guard haven't dropped a member yet. 5v3 situation. John Cutie considering the fault line, then puts it away, and then the over-aggressive setup from the guard floods forward, and M80 can find nothing. A Zenny Flawless comes through as the guard get their 6th.
man, what a wild ride of a round that was. You were liking M80's chances, just how they were able to get onto site clean, get spiked down. I believe that was a clean 5-on-5 post plant to start off with. They didn't lose anything along the way.
Yes, it was.
But lo and behold, the guard able to catch M80 trying to be proactive, pushing tree with that rolling thunder, as well as they were looking to be aggressive and fight heaven. They didn't want to just rest on their laurels and play and they get it done real clean. And the guard are fighting back. They've won the last 3 in a row. The separation is down to just 4 rounds, and if this buy does not work for M80, they may have to consider saving.
Agreed.
And that could be where the guards start putting themselves back in striking distance. Their economy is starting to get quite healthy, by the way. You're starting to see some of the reserves that they have. They're looking good.
Opening utility again defensively allows Trent to get the Odin in play through mid, oddly enough. Follow-up knife from M80 will, of course, scout out that it is just Trent that's here, and M80 will reconsider, saying, all right, you want to use you want to use the Odin over towards mid. We'll put some pressure over towards B, see if we can force some rotations out.
Yeah, you're seeing M80 in a situation where the guard are looking to play B lobby heavy. They're just relying on the alarm bot to cover their middle, and they're just trying to make sure they maintain B lobby control. They're also playing double up on tree. And so again, a lot of weight is just kind of on that alarm bot to kind of guard middle while they cover everything else with numbers. Jonah P actually gonna get aggressive with a little bit of a pop flash. Does get some damage on Nismo there. It's immediately gonna call him to call the null command, and that's just to try to slow M80 down, to kind of deter them from wanting to push it any further that direction.
Yep.
Is it a knife for info here in a second too?
Yeah, the thing about it was M80 really weren't set up in an effort to hit that, so they kind of pull out the null command early. Still 35 seconds on the clock here, and you have to make a decision if you are M80. Nightfall cuts across market. You still have net, though, trying to contest through B main. M80 have not committed to this play to B, though. But the thing is, you've got the operator techs in position over towards A. Now, all of a sudden, M80, they're trying to repivot back over towards B. They may not know how deep net has gotten through B main. There's still a chance for Valen to maybe catch one on this cross as well, depending on how deep they go. But John Cutie gets the first. Spike makes its way on. No chance to stop this plant, and we're going to reset into a 4v3.
Spike planted.
And I thought they have to know that net is in main now, just based on his utility being triggered, but it may not matter, knowing half the battle as Tex has already found one with the knives, and that is a 2-man advantage now for guard. Make it everything.
Just down to Kuala-Noob, and Tex will run forward onto him. 3 in the round for Tex. All of it by way of the knives, and we've got ourselves a map.
We indeed do. That's going to put the guard to 8 within 3. M80 with that spike plant do have buying options, though, so they're not completely out of it yet. They can still keep purchases rolling. This is one of those rare rounds where M80 kind of got stuffed across the board and were forced to slow down. You rarely see M80 making their final push onto a site with only about 20-25 seconds left. They're normally, able to hit in the early round or mid round at the latest, but the guard able to bog them down and eventually come out with a brilliant retake here. Tex with another multi-frag, as again, he has been perhaps the best player in Ascension. If you're just going by raw stats, I mean, he's top 5 in almost every metric for the tournament, and that was a big-time hat trick there.
Standing ahead.
Huge round, but still, M80 have the economy to purchase. Oh, spam works out. That's the knives off the table for Kuala-Noob, and an early 5v4 for the guard.
That's some nostalgia right there. Trent plus Odin plus Ascent plus wall spam. I mean, where have we seen that before? So many times. As he is the one and true Sova of North America in many ways, and he's not done yet. That's another onto Nismo. He's pushed back, but he's not bothered, but the frags are starting to pinstripe a little bit, but Tex reeling it back in.
Yeah, I thought for sure that Trent was going to be safe, but the aftershock must have just been able to connect onto him. So M80 get on for the plant. EU's going to play off-site and over towards mid-market. The guard looking to go 2 for 1 here. 2 players to the defensive spawn, net on screen, trying to make his way through B main. EU is currently watching this angle, but this is all about what they see, what they hear. There's the push-up, but net all collapses perfectly. EU gets caught off guard. Now it's just down to John Cutie. The status effects of the Rolling Thunder off the table. John gets 1, but no way he turns and burns there. And it's going to be an 11-9 tally. The guard's starting to really cook with some gas.
We told you the guard are good on defense, bro. 70% defensive win rate on this map across the entire year with a 12-1 record overall on the map. They are so damn good on Ascent, and you can never count them out on this map. Even when they were behind, you always got to know that their defense could come through and bail them out. that was such a brilliant reaction from Net when the Rolling Thunder came through to peek and kind of keep his teammates safe who were in back halls and grab himself a frag. As we see the Brazilian crowd, they might not have a team on the stage. They're certainly still having a good time out there, which we appreciate.
This is it. This is the last time out.
Indeed. And happy.
This should be a save here for M80.
Yeah. It very well could be some type of mixed buy just to get them like a slight edge. They are a team that likes to do that. You know, they are a team that's very resourceful. Even with low weaponry, they can still make some big plays happen. You know, you give them a upgraded pistol, a stinger, something along those lines, they can still potentially sneak one across. So I wouldn't be shocked if they go with some type of approach like that. But as you said, it could also very well just be a straight up save. As the breathing room is starting to become a situation of claustrophobia. I mean,
yeah,
there is not much space left now for M80. Again, they were up at one point, I want to say 10-4, I think is where they were at.
I think you're right.
And
they won the pistol and the follow-up, Yep.
So it has been 5 in a row, though, for the Guard, all on retakes. And they actually are able to get pretty much a full buy through this round, M80, including an operator on Koala Noob. It's just the Guardian for John Cutie is really the only discrepancy. I think EU also has a Guardian.
Yeah. Koala Noob maybe catch the Guard a bit off guard with this operator. Check on. What? How does Tex connect onto that? I mean, he was more than late to the party. And
Bro.
Still...
He might have been late to the party, but he arrived with the goods. You know what I mean? So, like, people forgive you for that. People forgive you whenever you bring the goods, even if you're late. You know what I'm saying? And Tex, he had everything that you wanted.
Oh, my goodness.
If you're Koala, you got to just be like, man,
Bruh.
I got diffed right there.
Yeah, for real.
You got to respect it. That's again, Tex has been a behemoth in Ascension. He's been one of the strongest duelists in NA all year.
Absolutely has been. So now M80 have to consider what they want to do in a 4v5, and the early insinuation here, Dust, is that they want to approach B, but again, Tex is waiting.
Godspeed.
Yeah.
That's really all I can say about it. The Killjoy utility's here. Tex has an angle with the operator from stairs. He can easily just take the shot, fall back if need be. They can play together on site. The only issue is there's no rotation in place yet. So they could get overwhelmed. Could's a keyword.
Yep. Nanostorm delays the hit a little bit further. Rotation on the way. Flash is coming through. Tex has made its way on towards side. Nope, not going to miss that one. Second chance. The flick not going to quite land. Nismo's able to put him down. Net still holding deep, and Trent has made his way over with the Odin. Look at the reveal coming out from the Sova utility. Oh my. 11-10 to count. The Guard. This time, no need for a defuse. They stop it at the front door.
Bro, they have taken this map. They've drawn up the drawbridge. They've dug the moat. They are guarding this castle, my man.
Enemy kill.
It has been a brilliant comeback from the Guard here defensively on Ascent. Again, very much their home map, very much their best match, statistically speaking. Their defense has always been kind of the, you know, anchor that has kept them going. You can see them hyped up. They realize what they have done here. They have brought this thing within a round. M80 just force buying stingers. That's all they can do here. Very likely a tie game. Oh.
Prediction of the Hunter's Fury is really solid, but no connections for the kill. Just got Nismo down to half HP.
At least slows M80 down, forces him to redirect a little bit. Oh, this owl drone's gonna get a lot of intel, but the stun is gonna cause problem. They're trying to chase it, but Net playing bodyguard. And again, it's the Guard team play coming through for a big frag.
Unbelievable. Trent sees the information, backs away, and Net does it again, as Tex had no room to dash any further away. So now it's just down to Nismo. And nope, nothing there. Another Zenny flawless, and the Guard have brought it back to level terms.
My goodness, Shift. We were hoping for a banger of a grand final. We felt like all the pieces were on the board to have one. You have this amazing NA rivalry between the Guard and M80 that has lasted all year long. The Guard won the initial matchup in Split 1. M80 gets their revenge in the midseason face-off and in the grand finals of Challengers to go up 2-1 overall and declare themselves #1 in North America. But then the Guard and the upper bracket here on land in Brazil tie the series back up to a piece. And now they're looking to take it a step further after tying the game up here.
X, oh, flashed. But Jonah P pushing through B main with assistance. Does trade off one. EU has to be able to get both of these. Gets the first, the fault line lands. Oh my goodness. Trent still furthers the play out though. We get 2v2 situations with the spike down right in front of Trent Zoden.
He's kind of isolated though. His rotate's off. He's got to be very careful here. And oh, John Cuty's found that's going to be the spike reclaim. That's going to put Net in a 1 versus 2. He does have lockdown, and that could be interesting. But I don't know if it will have crazy value. And oh, maybe trying to fake him out a little bit with that ult, but he's not buying it.
Nope, not at all. So now Net gets forward through mid-market. Has already pushed through doors. John Cutie on the corner, backs up. Lockdown gets placed. And it's gonna force M80 to have to exit the site. First flash gets avoided. Net on the corner, no, nothing. The team shot's too good. And M80 get back within the lead, and now back to that point.
Yeah, that's a tough situation if you're Net, because indeed the lockdown does force them to come off of site, but it also allows them to pair up and push you together for a trade. So it can really go either way in those situations. Like, it's unlikely they're going to split up and give you 1v1s. They're going to just push together. And so I don't want to say that backfired, but it just makes it a lot harder. I think if he would have played maybe a different spot to try to single out 1v1s, but he was playing like a crazy off angle, just kind of gambling that they would come sidewalk and hoping that they wouldn't play together.
Yeah.
And neither one happened there. And so finally the momentum has been halted.
Scramble towards middle at the moment. Haunt is out, but it's shown a peek at the first couple. Xander battles back, but only gets one of what was 3 trades that come out. Guard in a perfect position off their opening break off, now in a 4v2 early to try to get us to OT.
Well, if you thought that last round rattled them at all, it definitely didn't. Their composure is still as stoic as ever. Into a 4v2 very quickly after that mid exchange. We're going to see the ult from Valen to get some info at A main. Sees nothing there. Knows that it has to be mid or cat at this point, as they do have B lobby being watched by Trent. Net is solo on the A site. But he does have a little bit of utility that will be an early detection system.
Defense not moving yet. Just one dark cover for Net to use. There's the contact. Net doesn't get anything. Backs up in towards Hell. Paranoia does land into John Cutie. Aftershock clears out boxes. Xander, can he pop off right here, right now? Dark cover gets replaced. Net hears a lot of this. Actually gets tagged through the dark cover. Tries to work his way in. John Cutie gets the first one, and they reset. Tex with a shorty out, shut down. Xander's gonna get another. It's all down to Trent for a 1v2 situation. Odin in hand, one shock dart. Shock dart gets queued. Tossed out. Xander watching on the cross, and Xander gets 4 in total of the round. A 2v4 situation turned around by M80 to strike first in map number.
And the thing about the guard is on this map, they're, you know, just under a 60% win rate, but all of their losses have been so close, man.
Yep.
Like every loss they have had, they have gotten at least 10 rounds, and they've pushed it into overtimes or gotten 11 rounds, a lot of other matches as well. So don't let their record fool you. They're very comfortable on Haven.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is in this head-to-head, up until they beat M80 just the last time these two teams had played, it was 11-13 losses. So just kind of reiterating the point that this map has been tremendously tight between these two teams. And how about this for M80? Ooh. Little pistol round sneakiness getting up into B window already. EU back at the side. A little bit of trouble with the Trailblazer.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Stove's hot.
Stove.
The stove's hot, don't touch it. He didn't have a choice to.
It's also sticky and green.
Yeah, he got shoved onto it with no way to get off, like a fly trap. As we are going to see the guard just rolling through right now. All of them still standing, except for Jonah P. He's finally got taken out by Koala Noob.
Good smoke, keeps him alive. Counter fault line as Tex tries to do the same thing, but Koala Noob does collect the kill. So now 3v3, Valen dashed on, and he still gets one. Goodness, Koala Noob gets the trade. Back inside the Poison Cloud though, Trent very well may have done enough, and yeah, sure does. Gets the final 2 kills alongside Net, and the guard takes the pistol.
Yeah, again, pistols have been their forte this entire tournament. They have such a high success rate. I think it was over 70% if I'm not mistaken, or very close to it for Ascension. And again, it's nice to see them come out swinging after losing that first map in a grueling fashion. I mean, that final round was theirs for the taking, and they kind of fumbled the ball. You kind of wonder where their mental would be at coming out of their bat pick, their home turf, and that they're so good on, that they were so nearly going to make the comeback on before that grueling final round. But Seems like they've been able to shake it off. That was a very clean pistol. Up 1-0. A little bit of investment from M80 though here. They got the Marshall Qual noob.
Yep. This is the exact same setup, actually, weapon-wise, that M80 did on their defensive ascent. Jonah P flashing in, Trailblazer to follow, does see John Cutie, and actually connects onto him in the corner, so he's stuck there at the moment, but help is nearby, and the guard will respect the numbers that are on the site and back away.
Yeah, again, the guard's usually good for 6 or more rounds on the attacking side of this map. In all of their losses, their problem was defense. They were only getting like 4 or so rounds defensively, and so teams were able to make comebacks on them all the time when they switch sides. So I think the big thing for me, Shift, that I'm going to watch is the guard needs to come through with the strong attack, which they're usually good for, but the big tell is going to be how they treat the defense in the second half, I think. That's been their problem.
The sneak towards C-Long. Xander's not really in position to see any of this. The sentry turret also not watching. And Xander's caught with his hands up. Oh, goodness. Tries to get the dark cover down. He still finds the headshots versus Tex. But once again, the superior firepower makes itself known, and the SMGs light up the C site, leaving Kowalnu by himself.
Yeah, just a Marshal to his name against 4 members who have plenty of time to get in good post-plant positioning. They have one long watching the flank. That'll be net. Everyone else on site. Kowalnu trying to see if he can find himself a fight, but they are not going to give him a 1v1. They swing together. Jonah P with the hat trick. That's going to be a 2-0 start for the guard.
Oh, yeah.
Looking to get a rhythm early here after a tough first map loss. It's going to be a pretty hefty bonus here for the guard, I will say. I mean, they got plenty of rifles in this one. It's not SMG heavy by any means.
Yeah. And even if it were SMG heavy, there's still ways that the guard have made that work plenty of times with this setup compositionally. So this kind of adds to the firepower boost here on this bonus. Big round early here for M80. Trying to get their defense set up in certain regards, and EU is actually going to pop an Odin here in round number 3. Bit of a wild card.
Very strong with it though, so I'm not too surprised. We actually have seen him break it out in the lower bracket a couple of times in these playoffs on a couple of different maps.
Oh, Xander up top as the hit towards B starts to make itself known. Nano Swarm's also in. John Petey giving himself a bit of separation. Counter, actually, utility from EU gets a lot of information, but the follow-up is not good enough to actually collect the kills. So we go to a 3v3, and the spike will make its way through B and onto a wide-open C site.
A round that M80 seemed to be in control of for a moment has now slipped through their fingers as a spike, as you said, will make its way to C side, and we're on equal footing right now as far as man count. Now the health is looking a little bit grim, particularly on Valen, but outside of that, the guard have found themselves in a chance to win. That's a great off angle from Net. That's so beautiful.
The other thing to keep in mind, there's only one snake bite here, so you've got to force yourself to play close towards sight. And Net will get 3 in total, and EU will not be interested in going for this. Huge start for the guard. They're going to win their bonus.
And again, that is what the guard are so good at, is those mid-round pivots. When the going gets tough and their initial game plan seems to falter, they are so good at calling the audible. They are so strong in mid-round, and that has been their strength. As much as we, talk about M80's strength being just their explosiveness and how aggressive they can be, for the guard, if I had to pick one thing that really sets them apart, it's their ability to audible. And that was just amazing how they slipped off of what was kind of a grueling time on B initially when Koala gets to double up. But then they respond in kind. I think, it was a big kill from John Cutie that kind of helped them find a way through Link. And they get the job done. They convert the bonus. They're up 3-0.
And EU's going to go into another Odin. So, bit of a force buy situation here for M80.
Yeah.
Well, they're still thinking about it. There we go. Pistol upgrades. Depends on which pistol you like. 2 SMGs and then the opening Odin over towards a sewer. No one on C once again, so this will be a wide open site. That Nanostorm just doesn't quite get over the awning, but again, pretty negligible. As the spike will be planted down for Jonah P, who will earn Seekers with this.
Yeah, it's just kind of a gamble round for M80 where they spammed sewers with the Odin and then tried to push down through. Nothing was there, though, so now they're forced just to play the retake here with SMGs and Odin. Koala does have the ult out, though.
Good flash. Valen in trouble. Well, Trent gets 2. Also shuts down the knives that were out for Koala. John not done yet, though, but has to kind of be held back just a touch. Paranoia Aftershock holds the front line. Net getting another through the backside of mid. John Cutie now the last one left, and the guard will only drop 1. Now up 4-0.
I'll tell you what, man, if there was any fear at all about the Guards' mental state after the loss that they just took on the first map, I feel like that is now a dead storyline. They look fine. They're up 4-0. They are on cruise control on this attacking side. They have been in control of every single round. There has been very few moments they've looked behind. Besides that one double kill at the front of B in the third round, everything else has been the Guard, it seems. They look fired up right now, but we are going to see M80 back to a full buy claw with the operator, but he's not going to find a target early here. It's going to be a very big gather A for Guard.
Just an early watch through mid. Aldrone scouts out a little bit of pressure over from the Guard's point of view, and Nismo inside the dark cover. Two different contestants, almost gets the snap to the second, but VALORANT provides the trade. M80 backing out of sewer just to make sure no one gets on towards the A site, but the Guard, in that same instance, they've gained control of sewer because of that backup, and they'll leave Jonah P to lurk. He's actually looking for a couple, and he gets a bit of a lineup. QualiNoob shuts him down, and there's still utility for John Cutie to contest over towards C.
And that was just icing on the cake. He was just left there to be a disturbance. He's created way more than a lap. He has caused tidal waves to roll through, as now his team has a man advantage in what is seemingly going to be a free C site with that Viper's Pit going down. We're not going to see really a challenge from John Cutie. He's trying to sneak out around the platform, trying to just get lucky with spam it, boy, does he? That's Viper's Pit down.
Lockdown gets put in its place, but you can see QualiNoob is on the move over with that elimination, giving them a chance to possibly contest this post plant through C-Long. Dark cover gets placed right on top of the spike. Lockdown will expire. Here comes the check. QualiNoob would have to hit a shot here immediately, but he's actually gonna hop on for the defuse initially. It's John Cutie in the corner. Wait a second, QualiNoob gets this to half. John gets one. This surely cannot happen. Someone's gotta hop onto it though, and VALORANT, cleans everything up around it. It's a 1v2 clutch, and the Guards stay flawless on the scoreboard.
And you almost kind of wonder if he just would have stuck it, because John Cutie seemed to have his back. He got the first kill in the player peeking closet. I think he might have been able to pull that thing off, but of course we can understand his concern. And so he decides to drop off of it, but that kind of opens the door back open for Guard to kind of get their fights through long if they want. But man, Jonah P, what a lineup frag. John Cutie, equally impressive immediate frag on Trent for Viper's Pit to get forfeited, but good counter lockdown right away to still kind of control the site. And VALORANT winds up with 3 when it's all said and done. And so the Guard are fired up, and for good reason. They have been through it. We came down to 6 teams. 2 from North America, 2 from Brazil, 2 from LATAM. We've battled through group stages, we battled through playoffs, and there's 1 spot available for the VCT season next year and the year thereafter. And it's all down to this crazy rivalry between these 2 top North American teams that has waged all year long for such a big prize.
Oh, and Dust, take a look at this defensive setup. It's a lot of stingers with 1 hero rifle, but look at M80 already making their play up towards A lobby. Net trying to hide in a corner. If he gets 2, that would be incredible. 1 would maybe even be fine, but no, it's a full swab up through. That would be a 1-for-1 exchange. Weapon will be collected. Spike makes its way on by teleport in towards C. Should be a pretty quick plant.
Yeah, again, the Guard pretty good at the snap reaction. They read how many numbers were coming through A. They knew that they needed to immediately pounce on the opposite side of the map for the plant. It's going to be a 4-and-4 post plant. They still have a slight firepower advantage. There is lockdown available, though, for John Cutie, but really just pushing them to long C wouldn't do them much good, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. So this would have to come from the front here if you're M80. Trent just staying in his poison cloud, looking for someone to come through. Fault line lands, but Trent doesn't get seen. No one checks this tight corner. Oh my goodness, he's gonna blow this play wide open. He's gonna blow, no! QualiNoob snaps, finds the shot from VALORANT at range. Still keeps the numbers in favor of the Guard, and there's no chance for John Cutie to follow up.
Bro, that play from Trent was the epitome of what you think is going to be a great season finale to your favorite show, and then you wind up finding out that there's actually just another season coming. You get no answers.
Spin-off season, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he seemed like he was about to just destroy that play, but he winds up only getting 1. But then VALORANT says, it's okay, Trent, I'll take care of this. Gets the job done. VALORANT has been so key in late round situations for the Guard squad. He's a pretty decent fragger as far as IGLs go. While you're not going to see him top in the charts when it comes to, you know, average damage per round, ACS, things of that nature, he was number 4 in clutch percentage in both all of Challengers and so far in Ascension. And while that wasn't technically a clutch, it's still coming up big in a big late round moment.
Yep. speaking of big moments, this round is going to feel pretty darn important here for M80. Lockdown, Rolling Thunder, Operator in play with the full high here for the defense. And as M80 try to get, again, aggressive through A lobby, the hit from the guard is already underway here at B. The alarm bot doesn't actually get hit, though, so the moment of vulnerability coming through. Lockdown spent immediately, but the spike does get planted. And now it's on to this big hit through A lobby. Oh, and goodness, the guard get a perfect read on it. No one pushes through the lockdown. Even though it does get destroyed, the numbers holding significantly with the guard's post plant. Qualnoob working on it, but now he's just by himself for what would have to be a 1v3 alert from Tex. Very well made, just catch him off guard as Qualnoob's just trying to hold on to this operator.
He is. A jump peek's going to happen. It baits out the first shot. Koala trying to play inside the smoke. He's trying to be as crafty as he can be. He does get the kill with the classic. Now allow him to push the C site with the op as he tries to save it. And he might just get away with it. There are a couple of players, I think, potentially still getting chased through back hall, so he might still be under threat, but looks like he will carry it over. But man, oh man, the guard up 7-0. And we talked about how their issue this year has been the defensive half. They started on attack. 10 of the 12 games they've played on this map this year, and they've always been able to put together a pretty solid attack. It's just on the defense, they haven't always been able to close the game.
Sure.
They may not have to play much defense the way this half is going. That's what I'm getting at, Shift. Like, it may not matter. But M80 coming to this one fully bought out with 4 ults. They need this round.
Yeah,
there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
If the last one was a nice to have, this one is a must for sure.
Indeed.
You just can't go down 8-0 in another situation where you're likely going to be low in economy. So yeah, I agree with you there, brother.
It's got to happen.
Walk down mid, though, for Nismo and Xander. The offense hasn't committed yet, even to getting past a lobby. Net is aware of a potential early flank, but I don't know if he's aware of this early of a timing into window that Xander's gotten through.
Qualnoobs misses a slight timing here, rechecking main as they are able to get into sewers. And that's everyone, by the way.
Yep.
So he's not even going to catch a straggler. They're just going to waltz in here. They're going to clear everything. They just don't know about long.
Oh,
and Net catches the mid push. And now they know about Koala.
Yep. He's stuck. Hunter Sphere on the way over, but Qualnoob's already dropped. This will lead to a plant. And the guard still hold numbers 4v3. Retake coming pretty darn quickly, and you have to commit to this. So assume that the Rolling Thunder is going to be entry here for M80 and Nismo. Although he has not pulled his hands up yet, just trying to clear some space immediately. And wait a second, they may try to get the opening kills first and then use it trying to block out the post plant deep, but the problem is with that problem, you've got to find the kills first. And even though there's a trail out shock dart to find one, it's not going to be enough, and M80 are backing away again.
Wow. The guard with the perfect play. They catch a beautiful timing crossing sewers before Qualnoob can catch them with the operator. And while he was kind of the snake in the grass to get one frag from long, that was all he was allowed before the guard grabs sight and get the spike down. Net shuts down the mid flank. He was eyeing it the entire time. He was always wary of it. He was able to get the job done, and the guard have Taylor Swifted their way into an 8-0 series. Agreed. On this map. See what I did there?
Yeah, I sure did. She's dropping a lot of music right now. Lots of old music. That's new again. Very relatable reference.
You're welcome.
I never said thank you.
Well, it was implied.
Perfect.
I think.
I'm here for that. Uh-oh. Hold on a second here. Actually, Tex drops the scope at the exact wrong time. So M80 will get C-Long control here. They're going to put Qualnoobs in position with a classic.
That's not a lot.
No.
But this is the one spot of few on the map where it could actually get the job done, and it almost did.
Almost did.
Almost, though, not going to count. Not in that situation. As Tex will be able to run away, get some regrowth.
How about this? Offense throwing some fake over towards A. Spike has not left the C side of the map yet. From the shadows gets called. It will be picking up the spike and then immediately committing in. But the thing about this is the defense is actually here. Shock darts will stop Jonah P from his first attempt to plant. Xander, just before the poison cloud comes up, also finds a kill here. So hold on a second. Seekers are called out just to delay a little while longer. Tex playing deep. Here's the Rolling Thunder. Valen hit by this. Same can be said with Jonah P, and both will drop instantaneously. Last player left is just this late lurk from Net, and he actually gets 2, leaving a chance here for Tex. 1v2 situation, fault line out and all, just doesn't quite pull the trigger. And that secondary peek allows EU a chance to get M80 on the board.
Yeah, he was kind of prioritizing dodging the fault line as opposed to taking the shot there and kind of missed his window. Seemed like the guard is trying to do a little too much there, trying to run the fake with the ult of Valen. Even though they had full site control, it kind of just delayed the spike point, which allowed further rotations and utility to be set down by M80 to disrupt the plant, do some damage. Tex never got regrowth, by the way. It was just never a situation where it could happen. He was too busy using utility to clear out the site, so that kept them vulnerable in that last clutch moment to be an easy target. Nonetheless, the result is they made to get their first round on the board, but boy, did they need a whole lot more.
Yeah, I'll say.
Get out of my way.
And honestly, you just kind of have to string together a couple here just to create a conversation point. Because even in that round, it still wasn't all that comfortable. And that was behind a couple of ults, so M80 looking to get aggressive this time with a very significant amount of numbers over towards A lobby. Snakebite down over towards garage side. Tex with the knives looking to support this play. Lockdown gets placed, but John Q to the corner does at least shut down one. The lockdown will stay safe, and that will force a very, very labored rotation off the site from Xander, but he will get out, avoid the detainment, and in the process, actually, Valen gets one on the long flank, so now numbers hold with the guard's post plant.
Yeah, looking quite good. He's trying to clear out garage, but the counter Trailblazer is going to slow him down from taking any space that direction. M80 are just being held off on all fronts by the counter utility here. We see a push from Xander to the Nano, but Jonah P's quick to trade it back. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah. Trades are fine here. The guard have plenty of pockets. Don't have to worry about trying to hold on to weapons here. EU gets another. It'll leave an opportunity here for M80 to start to play a little bit further forward, but try to break down this post plant at long. Very difficult to do, but hold on. EU gets another. Oh, now just down to Valen. This will feel familiar. Yep, he gets the two again. And that'll be enough for the 1v2 clutch and the guard to get denied.
Again, Valen, number 4 in clutch percentage for all of NA Challengers. That's both splits, mid-season face-off, and playoffs. He was top 5 in clutch percentage, and he's in the same spot, number 4, here at Ascension. And you got to see an example of it right there. Set up beautifully for him, obviously, with the long C hold. And a lot of clock burnt, but still just choosing his battles wisely, never over-facing, never allowing his opponent too much of a chance to fight back as he gets the hat trick there, and the guard continue to rise as they are up 9-1, and the slim pickings buy from M80 here is not looking too optimal.
No. And the thing too, just kind of comparing Ascent to Haven as far as a mentality and kind of a playbook is concerned, M80 have not been able to get away with stretching out this guard offense and also being able to kind of put them into a corner here. The guard have done a really nice job at avoiding the external plays and finding a route in. This time M80 tries to turn things up by getting the Hunter's Fury out early. It will not land though onto much. Contact here over towards A. That goes the way of Tex, who gets 2. Xander up high, couldn't quite find his shot, and the guard worked their way on for their plant.
I mean, you like Tex's chances to get the first one, but the second one felt out of reach. It looked like a good off angle for Xander, but no, he gets both. Spike goes down. 4-on-3 post plant hold here. They know that EU is heaven now. They have 2 underneath.
All drone out, doesn't really able to scout out too much. Fault line does provide an opportunity to enter in. John Cooney, though, the only one holding onto a rifle, only gets 1. Nismo, who did find a Phantom, not able to do too much with it. And my goodness, the Carter off to the races here. I mean, this has been as indomitable as we've ever seen anyone play this map in this Ascension period.
Again, Tex has just been so phenomenal, man. He has stepped it up through Ascension. I mean, he was top 5 in virtually every metric throughout Challengers North America. Clearly one of the best duelists in NA. But at this tournament, he is number 1 in first kills per round. He is 2nd in ADR and KPR. So he's actually stepped it up a notch from his performance within NA here in these playoffs. He has really risen to the occasion. And they are well out in front now, a lot due to his efforts.
Well, again, holding into a corner. Oh, it's seen out. Xander's stuck here at the moment. Does not teleport back, though. Instead, he eventually gets to the top-sided box. He's got the judge out in hand. Defense did rotate to assist just in case, but the guard have backed off once again, creating question marks here for the defense of M80.
Yeah, I like that they didn't overcommit to that C play, even though they had the read that he was in the corner. They didn't want to give over anything. They know that they're in a comfortable spot here. Viper's Pit's available for post plant, but a lockdown is available for the defense on a retake. We are going to see some aggression here from Qualamu down middle. Able to get the space mostly for free. Defense reads with that ult that there is a lobby presence.
Oh, man, but wait a second. Trent's coming to check. Oh, no, not check this. Looked like he was coming back. I thought maybe for a moment that Net heard something, but not the case. And it's M80 who win the first 2 eliminations. John Cutie trying to flush out another. The Aftershock assist. Trades to allow the guard to come back into it, though. Are you kidding me? It's a 3v5, now to a 2v2. And with the spike in hand for Valen, they're going to get a plant off.
Yeah, he's able to Shrouded Step his way out of danger and get that spike down. As you said, Texas is going to cut off any rotations that might come through the B link. All he has to worry about right now is long. He's able to teleport across the plat, which may catch them off guard because they had eyes. They may not realize he teleported to the other side of this.
Well, that dark cover going down will surely give them some idea that it could be. Recon Bolt does not reveal Valen. Doesn't get through the dark cover, I don't think.
Nope.
So that could be a critical miscue here for M80. They're still looking towards back plat, and they do take down Valen. Tex, though, now to the 1v1 as he's already found Nismo. Shock dart out, but Tex, oh, guy just doesn't miss. Shots clean.
Did I mention Tex is good?
You sure did.
I did. I just wanted to make sure. I wasn't really just, you know, I feel like it was important to clarify just how strong this man has been throughout Ascension for this squad. You could very easily call him the best player of Ascension thus far. Just the impact he has had has been astounding. I mean, that was the crazy thing about the guard is they came into this year keeping their core four, but they lost a big piece in Zaya player. I mean, he was such a phenomenal duelist for that team last year in VCT.
Oh, yeah.
And so Tex had massive shoes to fill, and I wondered about him because he was a guy who benefited heavily from the chamber meta last year, and I was wondering how his transition back to a duelist would be, but he has risen to the occasion each and every time. He has been everything this team has wanted and more.
Well,
to
we
fill
swapped
those
the
shoes.
sides, and now M80 they have to win this pistol, flat out. Otherwise, the game's pretty much just over.
You don't say.
Yeah, I do in fact say. Wow. And how about it? Tex, little heat check coming through. Net's able to get first blood through the Toxic Street. And how about Tex on the hunt? John Cutie will deter him from getting too far forward. Qualnoob also in a pretty cheeky position deep in towards enemy lines, but does not expect Trent to come out from behind. Blindsides him, and now it's a 4v3 with Trent upgrading into a ghost. Although John Cutie does get us to more level terms, share of shot lands, so we get to a 3v3, Spike making his way on towards A.
Yeah, free passage for sure, and they also have control of the B link area with that smoke that's being put down as well, the block to defensive rotation. The guard making lots of noise here. Xander knows what he's up against, but no one's half the battle.
Oh, that is a key 1v1 win for Jonah P, but he does get immediately shut down. Low health pools, though, for M80. Fault line comes out. Xander tries to use it as a timing check, but does not quite find it perfectly. Flash behind it, and how about it? M80 will survive through the pistol thanks to Xander getting the final 2.
And so they have found a little bit of a rope thrown out to them in these turbulent waters. But there is still so much to trudge through to try to get back on the boat. Try to make something happen. But hey, the first step is the first step.
Yep.
Of course, we saw a crazy comeback effort from the guard on the previous map. Don't want to count M80 out, just simply
go far. All right, we're back to it. Sorry about the delay, folks, but it's only so much we can do here from North America.
All your fault, Shift.
Well, I'm actually in Poland, so it is a little bit my fault right now. 11-2, still to count those who jump back into it. We will have just the single marshal, a couple of pistol upgrades here for the guard after, well, then maybe need to start stringing together rounds. They need to start stringing together now.
And forever and always at this point to win it within regulation. As far as this map is concerned, as they're looking to barrel into the B site with the Owl Drone leading the way. There's a big C push here defensively. And so we'll see if it's able to perhaps catch this flank of Qualamu, and it does.
Huge first shot lands. Spike planted over towards B, and the post plant will now have to exist on site. EU trying to take some space away, but Jonah P there to meet him. Does connect to the body. Valen quickly now avoids the fault line. Has Israel stuck in a corner at the moment, but it's all down to the follow-up checks. Valen in the corner, doesn't quite land into Nismo mid-reload. Shoulder seen, Nismo takes it off, trying to follow up. Snakebite gets him vulnerable, but still Nismo holds on, still stuck in the corner. They'll hold on the guard, trying to make their play forward, but as they do, everyone will drop in. It looks like the post plan for M80 should successfully hold this.
Yeah, Nismo wasn't having it. No holds barred there. He just gets a big multi-frag moment, make sure that doesn't spiral out of control. You start to get a little bit concerned when that triple push through C catches quality, when that flank starts to set in, that maybe, just maybe, the guard are going to somehow sneak one through, which would have been devastating, but M80 able to hold on. Nismo a big part of the reason that one finishes on their side. Now 3-11. Still a long road left to travel to of a ban for them, but they didn't get that luxury this time around. Coming from the lower bracket, the guard got to dictate the pace of the pick ban. And what do you know, Schiff? We managed to carry that thing all the way through back to the action.
I know, dude. We got to start finding names for our podcast. And it's not just ours. Like, I think we talked about this before. It's like, I would love to see, like, and no one would ever listen to this podcast, but you just put all of the caster vamps into like episodes of podcasts. It's just like 30 minutes of casters vamping about random
That's the name of the podcast, The Green Room.
The Green Room.
I think that'd be a good title for it, where we all hang out between games and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess not these days. We're all online, but, you know.
Yeah, true.
The virtual Green Room.
Full purchase here, though, largely for both teams. Bulldog for Xanders. That's the only thing really kind of hindered as we approach this round. Also, a couple of light armors across the board for the guard. But a delayed approach here for M80, just kind of taking their time, seeing if the guard want to try to do something feisty, which at the moment they are not fully. But there may be a check here towards John Cutie. But no, he backs off just before.
Oh, he took a little bit of something with him.
I'll say
he's carrying some extra lead. He weighs a little bit heavier than he did before he left,
or a little bit less, depending on how much that pound of flesh was worth.
That flew off. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, Tex might be in a weird spot. Oh.
Gets the first, surely not more. No. John Cutie gets the pinch up, but oh boy, Jonah P from behind this play. It's just a toxic screen in his way. Does he check left? May not matter. Valen from inside the site will do pretty much everything required to hold on, and that will put the guard at 12 as Xander can do nothing through C long.
So they will have 9 chances to put this one away in regulation and even the series up at 1 apiece. Again, opening the series by sealing each other's map picks and keeping things on equal footing. Again, for a rivalry that has been this awesome all year long, and considering what's on the line, you wouldn't really want to have it any other way than go on the distance and really letting these two teams brawl it out. I'm down. The crowd seems electric as well.
They're just happy they're seeing gameplay.
I'm sure that's a lot of it. I'm sure that definitely has a lot to do with it, as it seems like most of the people in the crowd are kind of favoring the guard.
Oh, here we go. M80, little YOLO play towards C. Paranoia right across the Rolling Thunder. Nobody checks Tex in the corner. He dashes across, and oh my goodness, he gets up close and personal with John Cutie. Flash out, Jonah P gets a little bit side-blinded though, but it doesn't make a difference. The guard will hold on.
In which Koala knew would play some type of smokes. I thought maybe he would just stick with Omen, 'cause that's a comfort thing, even though, you know, Brim's obviously more meta for the map. And then that they would have Nismo play the Raze. But we get the Koala noob on Brimstone, but everything else is kind of what I expected. And then the guard does decide to stick with the whole chamber setup that they had prior.
Yep. It's interesting, but it's not something that is completely unfamiliar to us. So we'll see how things go. The real only major difference maker here is that Koala noob's obviously not playing Omen. He's playing Brimstone instead. Otherwise, this
Speaking
is
of
a
which,
pretty...
this is important. This is his first ever time playing Brimstone in an official match.
Okay. See how it goes. Opening pistol shots down through mid-sands. Valen will come out on top. A little bit of help from team shots through. Guard will still also have Tex lurking in towards this backside of the A site. And how does he get the second? Quality doesn't quite catch the timing through his own smoke. Xander will try to get the spike to rotate over towards B, but he's going to be met here by 2 defenders already ready for him. And yeah, clean stuff here from the guard, John Cutie. Last one left in 1v5. It's just about what can you find.
Yeah, without Spike in its possession and with everyone else being on the other side, there's not a whole heck of a lot that he can do. They have a pretty nice little bait and switch set up here if need be through hookah, but it's not required. Trent will just finish the job there with the frenzy, as the guard will go up 1-0. And again, they certainly come into this map as a heavy favorite. They have a 5-1 record on Bond. They beat 0-0 Nation on this map in the group stage. They were very dominant within North America. Their only loss was a very close one, the Moist Moguls. Again, they were typically running the Sage instead of Chamber in the past, but they have made the switch to Tex playing Chamber and bringing him to the board, which we saw in the groups of this tournament, and they've kept up with that in this match. Again, this is M80's first ever time playing Bind, and as Box said, this is only their second time as a core playing Bind in a year and a half with the core Ghost members. So I think he said January of 2022. That's a long ways away.
Blinded.
Flash from Jonah P. Oh, he's got a handful blinded, but not enough apparently. M80 will still win out the first kill. That does allow them a chance to pick up Stinger. Sheriff's also in the mix here, so M80 do have the chance to fight from range, especially against what is a lot of SMGs for the side of the guard. Headhunter out for Tex is staying in towards Hookah while the rest of the defense tries to position through the sky smoke deep through screens.
Yeah, they do still have at least some control through back halls. Prowler's going to detect this presence, though, and it's going to allow EU to get a little bit more forward here and try to play a close angle with the pistol. Tex going to try to move in with the Headhunter here. Nismo, though, beautiful shot there. Yeah.
There's no follow-up allowed whatsoever. Tex will also be held in place. And this is just all about waiting out the clock here if you're M80. Tex on the way down. What? How does he get that? Plus also teleports away. Net also getting one, gives Tex a chance at this, which he does find at least one with the Ghost, but the Headhunter doesn't quite lock it in, and EU will counteract the opening pistol win by the guard.
And this is our first steal that we've seen this series. The first time a team's been able just to come right back in the second round and even it up at 1 apiece. And again, while M80 have not played Bind, just considering how explosive a team they are in general, I could see this map suiting them if they were to kind of adopt it. You know what I mean? I feel like just, you know, considering how quickly you can attack short A, how you can do these fast side splits and feint and teleport, like, it just seems like M80, if they have the reps and from practice, which we can't know, that their style would suit the map. You know what I mean?
Well, hold on here, Second Dust. We have a 3-man stack inside this mid connection where Xander is watching. But as this smoke fades, there's a flash being held by Jonah P. It does not affect Xander, but still Valen wins the gunfight. And oh boy, Stim Beacon comes through. The guard will now dominate control through mid, and it splits this M80 offense into 2 pieces, which EU is trying to recover through. Getting one is not terrible, but still, it's a 2-2 split here.
Yeah, and he's going to get flanked and taken down. He was a little bit concerned about the Hookah presence, and so winds up getting caught out. Nismo catches Tex here up top, even it back up. Net in a little bit of trouble. He's getting split from a couple different angles at once. Just a classic to his name, and Nismo will eradicate that as well. And so now it's starting to settle down.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, I'll say. Trent, last one left. Can't really do too much. Good idea here from the guard, but I think the one big thing about it is flat out the weapons come through for M80. Kills are decent. And even though the opening was pretty punishing, M80 survived through it, and now we're going to get our first 4 gun round. Yep,
and they don't have to do a whole lot of rebuying either. There's 5 with 3 members, so that's 3 rifles carried over into this next round, keeping their credits in a decent position. Obviously, nice that they were able to steal the eco in the second round. That really sets the guard back. I feel like they need to win a couple in a row just to get their economy back in order at this point.
Yeah, I'll
say. Right back to saving, and it could easily be 4-1 start for M80.
Jonah P just throws a quick bit of shouldering, checks over through Sands. Does get tapped at just a touch, but the defense not really going to do too much in terms of reposition deal with this. Hookah will be left open voluntarily, where the toxic screen will be the first point of contest for Net as soon as he hops and sees anything.
Yeah, banks a snake bite in the front of Hookah to try to slow down any progression from M80 as they are certainly looking to run down this B side. They are all gathered up here. They have no presence anywhere else. And oh, Net gets caught jumping up. Awkward timing. Nismo is going to punish it, and now he's in the sight.
Jonah? Oh,
he was so stunned.
Yeah,
I mean,
thought maybe for a second he was going to avoid line of sight, but not to happen. So
he was
Spike
in a
gets
different
planted.
Dimensional plane, bro. He was wobbling.
The guard will just hold on to these last 2 weapons. Operator was called out early here for tag, so no reason to even try this.
Certainly not. So it will be 3-1 M80 on Bind, their first showing on the map. Quadu's first time ever playing Brimstone in a match. And so far, not so bad. Again, I always thought this team had the playstyle to suit Bind. Just, you know, you consider the options you have to play the fast short A plays with double controller, or just get on the sites quickly, then play post plant. That is kind of just M80's forte on some of the other maps in the pool. So they just never really had to try to flex Bind before now. But so far, it's interesting. And I mean, here's the other thing that you have to think about, though. It's like the guard has nothing on this team. They have no idea what they're in for.
Yeah.
And so that element of surprise can sometimes be a problem because maybe you've seen different things in practice, or maybe you have a good idea just for this tournament against 0-0 Nation, I believe it was, right? So if that's the case, it's kind of the same thing. Like, yeah, you might know some of the guards' fundamentals on this map from what they did throughout Challengers this year, but they've made their own pivot in composition, which means you yourself don't have that much film on how they want to play this comp. So the mystery almost goes both ways, but certainly it leans more heavily in favor of M80, who are definitely just, don't know what to expect.
Well, we're going to get our first look this time, speaking of not expecting things, of what M80 want to do to try to contest over towards Showers. It's been a lot of focus through mid and a lot of focus through Hookah till this point. So a bit of a Viper battle over towards Shower side, while Nismo actually not going to pop the showstopper here. And he runs right into the waiting arms of a judge. Valen also following up, takes care of Xander through Shower side. So huge advantage here for the guard defensively, and they're finding weapons on top of that to make this even more formidable.
Yeah, they're going to try to click teleport with the spike over to the other side, and Quality's doing a good job actually holding these players down, and that might cause them to double the spike back, and indeed they do. They're going to come through market. Valen going to go ahead and pop Art here to flush out the Lance player. He does get the frag on the Koala, but now they can double back again if they want to.
They sure could, but they're going to commit forward. Valen shut down. The traded orbital strikes does keep us at a 2v2. EU at a single point worth of health, and John Peter will get to work trying to change that, but through the Fox Trent. Big win. And actually, hold on a second. Whoa, what just happened? He pulled out Showstopper and then canceled it?
Yes.
So now it's down to Tex for the 1v1. John Cutie will get the plant and back away off the near box through U-Haul. Still holding pretty close. There's the check, and Tex will save the round.
Brother. Let him know, Tex. Go ahead, let him know. What a shot. Jump, sticks the landing, pulls the trigger at just the right moment to be accurate, but just fast enough to get the frag before his opponent can respond. Definitely a weird interaction with Trent with the showstopper on the site. I'm not quite sure what happened there. He must have just hit the wrong key in the heat of the moment. Those things do happen. A little bit of a slip, but it wound up not mattering.
Player standing.
As his teammate Tex is able to finish the job.
That angle makes it even more awkward, I would say.
Yeah. No harm, no foul. Tex saves the day.
Still one of those things, though.
Up.
You don't want that all to just go up for nothing.
Sure.
Especially in a tight game. Full purchase stole Valve. Tex stole the operator. Seekers at the ready. Nismo still holding on to his showstopper.
Jiggling for information here at Fountain. Sky is so powerful defensively on this side of the map just because of the guiding lights and Trailblazer. You can just get so much info all the time at Fountain in these slower rounds, which really helps you dictate your rotations. And it's something that M80 might not be, I'm sure they've seen it, but they might not be privy to feeling it in server, having not played it officially yet. Hate to beat a dead horse, but it matters so much.
Yeah,
with
you're absolutely right. And at the moment, I mean, again, just based on how the guard is setting themselves up, it's just a little poke and prod from net through Showers, but a lot of focus on their defenses to make sure that this B long stays safe. And they've been successful in keeping M80 away from that angle. But as the Seekers get pulled offensively, M80 will make their move over towards A on the mid cut. Nismo, this time Showstopper will be a part of the play. Just trying to clear things out up and over the truck, and he will find Trent lurking in towards Lamps Halls. Quality also finds another one deeper on towards the site. Battle back by Valen only gets one, and the numbers for M80 very significant. Tex the last one left, and as he gets shut down, it's M80 up 2.
Yeah, and again, that is kind of what I envisioned M80 to look like on this map. You know, having the theory craft, having to do guesswork, just knowing their play style and knowing how good Nismo is maneuvering with Raze. I really did think their short A attacks would be quite deadly, and we definitely have seen that be the case already a couple of times in this half, and I imagine we're going to see it more and more. Nismo's going to be able to kind of, you know, change up his routes on which side he chooses to attack Lance from. I'm sure he's very, you know, savvy with the satchels. He's obviously going to know how to use the boombot to clear out Hookah position on defaults. You know, he's going to be good to go, and M80 are able to flex their playstyle on this map very nicely. Uh-oh.
Different setup this time with the guard on the half by. Have the tour out for Tex. Shotgun for Trent, who sneaks on the opposite side of Xander's toxic screen. Now Xander's a little bit stuck, or is he? Classic gets the job done for the trade, but damage has been dealt. 3v3 situation, tough shots for Net, doesn't quite land it. And with Valen on what looks to be about 10 HP. Yep,
Spike
he
planted.
will be in a very tough spot trying to rotate over into a 1v2.
Not going to be easy by any means. EU is low on health. That's one little thing that kind of helps him out. He's got a couple of smokes still left to maybe try to limit some angles. But nah, not
Nope.
even really going to get much going at all there. Immediately taken out by EU. M80 are certainly liking to make these quick pivots through the teleporter. Also not surprised to see that from them. Viper's Pit now available for Xander. Full buy still coming through. Plenty of credits to go around. Op is out again for Tex. Viper's Pit available for Net to lock down one area of the map early. And I mean, for M80 coming into this with, you know, no resume at all, so far so good. I
Yeah,
have to
passing
say.
the eye test, right?
Yep.
This time offense, once again, full 5-man stack over towards mid.
Gunner.
Viper's Pit will defensively be used over towards B as Valen just takes a dry peek through mid connector and takes off ahead. So Xander will drop. M80 still trying to force their way forward, but as Valen takes down another, M80's hopes of trying to continue forward on this angle are pretty much out the window.
Valen's just DMing short air right now, dude. He's
I'll
just
say.
sitting back and popping domes. M80 not even able to get anything going here. Showers will get cleared out by Jonah P just to make sure that they aren't setting up a split. He's going to do it again with the guiding light. He's going to get a good flash on that. Knows that they're still present. They'll just keep their defense in place, right? I mean, they got Viper's Pit, the lockdown, Octagon.
Yeah.
They have presence inside Hookah. I mean, they got everything covered. It's no problem.
There is no reason to move. Jonah P is going to try to find some timing here, though, and actually a little bit of a burst play from the
Spike
guard.
down
Goes
A.
2 for 2, though, so the trade's not as efficient as the guard I'm sure we're hoping for. But still, it's a 1v3 situation for Koala Noob as he will collect the orb and just back away.
Yeah, not too shabby. Yeah, they're going to lose a couple of players on that, but they still have a 3-on-1.
30 seconds
They still
left.
have everything pretty much covered. Going to be very tough for Koala Noob to do much here. He's able to get a smoke that might allow him to get out, but out only into the awaiting arms of Tex. As that's going to make it 3-5. The guard hanging around here in this half. All their rounds have been isolated, though. They haven't really been able to find a rhythm.
Sure, I mean, you had the opening pistol, then you had the kind of heroic comeback to get the defuse off, but that round right there felt a little bit more par for the course, I think, for Fear the Guard. Just the ability of being able to kind of dictate and stop any early
Remaining.
contest on the map.
Spike down.
Forced them to have to play through mid. It just never feels good, I think, especially in the face of Tex sniping on one side, and you still have the ability to drop mollies and smokes on that mid cross anyways.
Interesting round ahead here, considering what alts are on the board and considering that we're back on equal footing as far as firepower is concerned. M80, a little bit of split pressure here. Prowler, as well as the Trailblazer being sent through the A side. I mean, they're putting a lot of utility into A, but they're not committing. Look at this push, though, through B.
But Xander may actually catch timing on this. Yeah, catches one in the corner, but Jonah P does fight back. Flash gets popped. John Cutie on the hunt. And this is all about just isolating Jonah P, trying to stop him from doing too much damage, but it may be a day late and a dollar short as he actually takes down Nismo as well. EU does slip through A, but he would have to find these 2 kills on rotation to make this a little bit more competitive, you'd think. Sniper rifle actually catches the wall, but doesn't matter. Tex has the headhunter to finish the job, and now it's just down to Koala Noob in a 1v2.
I also don't even know that he detected Trent was A heaven throughout that entire play.
I don't think so, no.
So Koala may be rotating into a situation where he thinks it's clear, and quite literally it's not. Trent is right here in back halls, waiting for Koala to start to play at any moment. Koala, though, doing his due diligence. He's clearing
seconds
stuff out. He's weary
Yeah.
that there could indeed at least be showers control that never got checked because everything was through short A on their initial attack. So he's minding his P's and Q's to clear it out, but he's running low on time.
Smoke's down.
Thing is, he's got a lot of great post-plant tools. Orbital strike, molly, 8
Spike
shells,
planted.
won't quite get there. Spam shot's also not fully gonna land, and Koala Noob will just kind of step in towards the smoke. Maybe catch one on the cross, but Tex, how does he hit that? Running and gunning with the headhunter, and that'll put the guard back to within 1.
I don't think that was an intentional gap on that smoke either. I think that was a missed smoke.
I don't think so either.
And I think that just comes down to the fact that he hasn't played much Brimstone. Again, never played it in an official match that we could find. And so that kind of gave the defense some easier peeks on them as he was trying to escape the site to set up in the 1v2.
No more dream.
Either way, the guards starting to find their footing defensively here as typically they win kind of an equal amount of rounds, attack and defense. I mean, they're right under 60% on both sides of the map, so they feel very comfortable on attack and defense. don't know what they've been able to work on if they just decided to not worry about buying and just really focus on everything else. And hey, if it came down to playing buy, we'll just kind of freestyle it almost.
That's not ready. Teleport's ready.
So that'll be the big question, I think, to kind of answer yours. I just answered another question. How deep is their playbook? How do you like them apple shift?
About to find out, brother.
Yeah.
Solo
You thought I was going to give you
defender.
something, I could just ask you another question instead.
Yeah, it's more of a hypothetical, rhetorical question, if you will.
Sure.
And once more, same setup here coming through. The defense of the guard, heavy stacked through B long. They don't see anything. It is just the solo defensive Tex on towards A. And this will be the first time that we've really seen Valen stack with net to double up in hookah.
Scout destroyed.
And that scout does not see anything.
Nothing.
Got shut down real hard. It's going to get countered by the poison orb and try to, you know, stop M80 from wanting to go that direction.
Face your fear.
And they're just going to nightfall the site. Are they going to commit?
I don't even know if much gets hit by this. Offensive orbital strike, though, does land. Defensive one also getting used in response. Trades the kill feed, get us to a 4v3 situation in favor of M80. But the rotation's going over towards Texas direction. He does get flashed out. Teleports back. Viper's Pit keeps the rest of this push safe. A couple other spam shots coming through. The Headhunter also out just to try to make something heroic happen, but it won't fully work out. Quick contest, though. Jonah P. right through shower side. He actually gets one and can step away now. Still decayed down low, and he'd be very careful of that snake bite. Down to just a single point of health for now. Has to back off. Net on the other side is trying to work his way into sight still. Last flash for Jonah P. Doesn't quite see, I don't think, the player sitting in the corner. Predictions out, but doesn't make a difference. Xander gets the jump on it. And now Net in for a 1v3. Likely not going to do too much with this. There's the flash check. Net does step away to keep his life, but it will be a 6th round for M80.
Yeah, beautifully played around there from M80. You know, lobbing the utility on B, really keeping that double hookah stack present. Not really allowing anyone to rotate over to A to reinforce Tex's position, who was basically totally reliant upon his forward angle on short and the fact that he had his trip inside of showers to detect if anything had pushed through that direction. He gets nothing as he's blocked out by the Viper's Pit and a smoke and gets caught while he tried to pull the pistol out. That high-low play in the corner was never going to allow Jonah P any forward momentum there. And so M80 up 6-4. Nismo has the showstopper available, so does Trent. I'm down for a low rocket launcher battle.
We very well may get it as well.
I'm
based
up
on how
for it.
both like to use it. Net, once more, again, free control for the guard over towards B long. That has not been a problem for them in any form. It's been this hit towards hookah that's causing the most amount of headaches. Tex Trailblazer out, Nismo. Ooh. I would say both players pretty lucky to be alive after that engagement. Overgrowth get Nismo back to 100 HP. We'll stay 5v5.
Yeah, hookah control will be given over to M80. So they have that extra bit of real estate as they still have presence over towards showers. Short A kind of being dominated by Trent right now at the forward angle.
Yeah.
Guiding Light will come through there, kind of clear out towards Lantern John Cutie, but no commitment behind it. They are just kind of leaving the lurk of Xander inside of that long A area while they, again, just hold on to hookah and maybe look to pounce on B here.
Sure feels like that's going to happen. Trademark slows down Nismo pretty considerably. Showstopper towards Octagon, not going to work out. Trent also teleporting through, trying to clear out the backside of hookah, but the action really is happening more so over towards Xander's direction. He gets 2 lurking through A. Tex is still very healthy and on site. Catches, oh, not one off guard. I thought he had Nismo dead to rights, but the footstep sounds allow Nismo a chance to react. One trade back from Trent, but still, this has to be a 2v4 situation. Nismo will not allow that to happen. A 7-4 tally comes through. 1 to play for the half.
Round in the
Yeah,
half.
just a beautiful little play there from M80 because they're able to attack into B, get to the backside of it, and then use Xander's lurk through the attacking spawn, as well as its ability to cut off the A rotates to secure a massive advantage in the post plant. Not to mention Nismo catches Tex there despite being caught a little bit off guard, as you noted. He winds up with the hat trick, and again, Nismo on Raze is a beautiful thing. These days doesn't get to play it as often as Qualnoob's the primary duelist of the squad, but when he gets to break it out, particularly on Lotus lately, he's always been fantastic. Again, he is definitely a top player in almost every metric for Ascension and throughout Challengers. He is such a powerful star on this team.
This is a lot of trust here that Net can hold off this play with nothing but a Sheriff while the rest of the guard push through B long again. That's his second snake bite down. He does actually put a lot of damage into Nismo. I think that was a headshot, maybe partly through the box.
Regrowth though.
But, yep, absolutely. Healed back up. M80 going to get themselves a chance to plant. And now it's down to Qualinoob all of a sudden, trying to back away through mid. And he puts the stim beacon out just to try to survive a little while longer, but the shot's starting to come through for the guard. But oh, Xander picking things up through the mid cross, no worries. 3 kills for him. Snakebite lineups at the ready. Trent clears out U-Haul, but there's still so much the guard have to do here. And not a ton of time to do it. They will toggle the spike. That'll be enough for Xander to toss out his Snakebite. Was not needed though. M80 clean up the half. 8-4 on their first attempt on bind.
Very impressive half. Particularly that final round was really well done.
I'm no doctor.
Again, Xander has been mint this tournament for this team. Again, we talked about how he wasn't always like the biggest star throughout Challengers. It was always kind of Qualinoob and Nismo who really took the spotlight when you look at North American Challengers. But at Ascension, Xander is top 3 in ACS and kills per round, and he is top 10 in almost every other metric. He has been absolutely phenomenal in this controller role for this squad, and he came up big in that final round. Nismo obviously also just having a field day on the Rays, as Nismo does when he gets to play Rays pretty much every time. So no shocker there. But yeah, that was definitely a great attacking side from M80 for their first go on this map. No doubt about it.
Very similar to what we saw in Ascent. Did never have to really go back on the ecos. We have a quick burst here from M80 right down middle. Shut down immediately though by the combination of Valen and Trent. Xander does get a trade off the action to get us to a 2v3, so more level numbers, but the guard get a chance to set up their post plant however they want.
Yeah, I really thought that M80 were going to have the jump there when they caught Jonah P in the corner still with utility out, and they were able to get the kill. I believe that was on net next to him, but Jonah P was able to kind of recover from it. He got some help from his teammates, and they wound up getting into a 3-on-2 post plant here.
Well, Valen just kind of playing with this retake. Stims his way out of there. Poison Cloud still ready for Xander to try to block off this Heaven Cross. But the problem is this bike is just in such a tough spot to just stick to. Xander's going to give it a go, and he does get it to halfway. No one's taking any shots at this. Xander's going to stick it, but no. Spike Diffuser gets killed just in the nick of time. I mean, just in the nick of time.
I mean, I don't know exactly how close that was, but it looked real close.
Close as I've seen in a minute.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. That was dangerously close. On the edge of the orb, sticking it the whole way through. That was really their only chance to win in that scenario, and certainly got very near it. We're looking at it here. All the bullets are going astray, but it's the knife of Jonah P that saves the day. I didn't know you could get a headshot of the knife. That's pretty interesting. I don't think it really matters in the grand scheme of things, but
that's massive.
He has the highest knife headshot percentage in Ascension.
And the curiosity point here for M80 is going to be how do they want to defaultly set up this defense? And they're putting a lot of focus on the outsides of the map here as well, at least initially. Again, it is just pistols, 3-2 split. E will see the utility streak in towards lamp side. Smoke will block them and actually kind of hold them inside of showers. Grenade comes out, but that is a mere inconvenience. Delays the plant for a little bit, but Trent will just hop right back on and get to work planting again.
No worries at all. Retake already being held at bay through the long side here as Texas pinching them from behind. The spawn is going to get some help here from Valen as well. Valen will do the honors. Should be a formality now.
Should be. Snakebite blocking the exit. Net checks it, gets the easy kill. John Cutie, Xander, the last two left, and they are just going to try to sacrifice themselves to the spike detonation, try to keep this flawless from finding any more kills.
So here we have it. The guard wasting little time closing the gap on the scoreboard by continuing to find success in these pistol rounds. They have been so good on pistols in this tournament. I want to say they're in that near 70%
They're plus 70%.
Yeah, and that's including now. I'm just thinking, like, trying to do the quick math, including what we've seen so far this grand finals. They've won, what, 3 pistols of the 4?
That would have been 5 of the 6.
Okay.
Because we're map 3.
Yes. I did the cardinal sin.
Tried to do caster math.
Doing caster math live. It's the wrong play every time.
It's either 5 or 4, one of the two.
Yeah, when people
They've been
ask me
good.
for casting tips, sometimes that's literally the first tip I give them is don't do math. And I just did it. So, didn't heed my own advice.
Well, the guard are going to make their approach in towards Hookah. There will be one waiting, but the flash out. Oh, Xander actually dealing a lot of damage, even though he does eventually fall. Could not quite fully get out of Hookah, and there are no other defensive players nearby, so this should lead to a very quick plant here for the guard.
Yeah, going to be 7-8 right around the corner, and so all of the good work that M80 did on their first go of bind to create some separation has now been shrunken quite a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Again, we have no idea how comfortable they are playing defense on this map. No stats to go off of, no eye test to rely upon, so hard to know. But what I can tell you is, again, the guard, a team that's usually pretty good for finding 6 or more attacking rounds on this map. And so at this point, that would just be quite enough.
Yeah, sure would be. And again, we really do need to kind of keep our eye on what exactly, with still full weapons, M80 want to do defensively here, because in this first couple of rounds, it has been a lot of focus on trying to take over this shower side of the map at the moment. In that round, it's just the Viper laying by themselves, kind of hopefully delaying for what would surely have to be some sort of an early rotate, whether it's through teleporters or just around the back, and that doesn't come through. So what's this setup going to look like here again from M80?
Yeah, it's very interesting. I feel like they're going to be a team, just based on, if I just think about the rest of their pool and just thinking about Bind in general, that they're going to want to be proactive somewhere on the periphery of the map, whether that be through Octagon or whether that be inside showers. Like, I feel like they're not a team that likes to play back and play retake. They like to try to disrupt their opponents, especially a team like the guard, who's very comfortable playing you know, the methodical default style. Like, you want to rattle them. You don't want to let them get comfortable and have a foundation to launch from.
And there's also the point of you have a Sky and a Fade, so you've got a lot of tools to get early information and freely clear out those extremities. So once more, it'll be Hookah focus here for the guard. Very quick to get their approach. There is a judge in hand for Xander. He will be seen, and well, the threat is also known. A little bit of pre-fire coming through. Xander just going to pop up, throw a couple of shots, but Trent actually collects the kill. And now all of a sudden, the guard can still commit forward as John Cutie gets caught. And that's going to lead to another very healthy post plant for the guard.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, the judge did not become the executioner there. And so it allows the floodgates to open for the guard on the site for the spike plant. And now a tie game is right around the corner, it seems. M80 just saving the rest of their weapons here on the opposite side of the map. Again, it's not often you get to see Trent play a duelist, but similar to Nismo, when he gets his chance to play Raze, the man can pop off. As Trent has been phenomenal. I mean, everybody has been known for a long time this guy is great. But I would say throughout Challengers, he kind of, you know, got maybe a little bit overshadowed by how well Tex was playing at times, or, you know, just the general, like, overall team play.
Right.
But this dude is leading in almost every category, essentially. I'm talking, he's #1 ACS, #1 KD, #1 average damage per round, #1 kills per round. He is top 3 in clutch percentage. Trent's giving it to you everywhere, all the time, all tournament long, all situations. I mean, he is a guy that, again, a lot of people already knew just how good he was. Again, he had an opportunity or 2 or 3 probably to be in VCT this year. Practice throughout, you know, scrims and dry runs and whatever else your team does to prepare for a match. Part of that is building protocols, building a flow chart on how you want to approach certain situations. Do M80 have that decision-making process in place for all the different things that can be thrown at them on a map they've never played before competitively?
Yeah. Oh,
That's a tough one to say.
I will say that I would prefer to see them stay a little bit more restricted on these opening engagements, because the last 3 rounds that have come through, M80 defenders on A have just conceded the round. They haven't even had a chance to contest. Orbital Strike will opening things up here, though, for the guard. Qualitative just trying to spam, seeing if he can get lucky, while the rest of the defense tries to rotate in. There are full weapons on both sides here, but look at the space that Jonah P's gotten through. Denies the first bit of utility, and then Jonah P finding the double turns. Oh, Jonah P. Paint shells follow up by Trent. And once again, John Cutie will have to just sacrifice the round to try to save the weapon.
That was such a beautiful strat from the guard. Again, the guard known for their methodical play most of the time, but the thing that they are also so good at is just being able to be dynamic and throw in those pacing changes just when you least expect it. And that was beautifully orchestrated as far as their utility usage goes. They use Orbital Strike in such a way to just clear out the entire back right-hand corner of A side. What does that do? It gives you a guaranteed free lane. to attack the site from, right? So you smoke heaven, you smoke the rotation elbow, you know that the entire right side of A is clear because you've hit it with the orbital, and then that just gives you all the space you need to pave way to control site. If anybody decides to get gimmicky and try to peek the smoke, you're already there waiting.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what Jonah P was able to do. So, again, this a very tactically strong team in the guard pulling off a good play there.
Wow. Well, John will get one on the exit. Round will end, and the guard will now all of a sudden be up in the lead 9-8. It has been flawless offense to this point. And, well, M80, it's just one of those things of it just doesn't feel like anything's working at the moment. And I just don't know how you make a call here after a timeout and a full buy. You just didn't find really anything at all.
Dude, it is crazy how much Jonah P has leveled up for Ascension. I mean, the guy was always a solid player. Again, more of a supportive element, so never really in the limelight, so to speak. But he's actually number 4 in KD at this tournament. And he's also up there in some of the other categories that maybe he wasn't ranked as highly in Challengers. Like, Land Jonah P is a different beast.
Sure. Well, M80 will kind of take away some focus through showers here. And they're going to play pretty passive over towards the B screens while the Trailblazer clears out B long. Showstopper out. EU will step away from that by way of the teleporter. But again, that is, again, so much space cleared out. The guard will control halls. They'll control through the site. And that last little showstopper hit up towards heaven will also make this M80 defense really have to consider what they want to do for the retake. Seekers are out, though. Offense trying to, again, delay the inevitable. Sniper rifle for Tex watching the cross. Predicted it the whole way through. M80 completely stuck, trying to find their way in, but they just don't have any information at all. And you can kind of see they're just hoping someone's going to peek them, and there's no reason for the guard to do that. Shorty out for net. That will work. Back to the rifle. John Cutie a bit caught, and there is just no ground anywhere for M80 to work with.
No, not at all. Again, just another beautifully orchestrated A execute from guard. Showstopper to pave a way forward, clear out the entirety of lamps and the site itself.
They're dead.
They use that to get the spike planted, and they find themselves some beautiful post-plant positioning, playing the close corners and lamps to perfection. Tex having the operator inside, you know, halls to play the long-range battle. And now they're up 10-8, looking to take this pick, try to get themselves ahead in the series.
Last player standing.
It's been as calm as it could be
Yeah.
on the offensive side, especially consider that, again, based on the first half, the eye test kind of checked out
for
how
sure.
M80 were playing their offensive half, but they just have not had a chance to contest a single plant. It's just been almost borderline too easy, I would say, right now for the guard on the offensive half.
Yeah, the guard have definitely dictated the pace of this entire side. I mean, they've been able to get whatever map control they've wanted. They've been able to take sites with ease. They've always seemingly been out ahead in the initial trades. And M80 has kind of been battered into submission. Like, they're not really able to play forward or disruptive. Like, they're kind of almost forced to play more of a safe style that they're not as privy to.
Once again, there's the Trailblazer information. Oh, good counter, though. Haunt comes through. Also, the follow-up from Nismo works out, so we go 2 for 1 the exchange. Nismo finding everything in this round at the moment. Tex battles back for 1, but Nismo goes showstopper. And oh, it doesn't actually hit Jonah P. He was inside the middle of the container. Qualinoob still finds the kill, but it's Tex for a 1v2 situation. Flash out, steps away from it, makes the contact, finds the first headhunter. No, not gonna quite land as Qualinoob takes him down, and M80 bring it back to within 1.
That was really on a razor's edge, though, man. He was almost going to pull that one off. He was playing that so smart. But M80 just about hold on. Beautiful combination of utility from the paint shells of Nismo, as well as, I believe, a seize that landed for EU inside the front of Hookah. Held them in place for the paint shells to pop them.
Enemy remaining.
Insane the showstopper miss. Let's not forget about that. Not sure what happened there. That was pretty wild.
One enemy remaining.
Lines up, being no harm, no foul. They'll M80 do collect the win, but at a huge cost. They have to rebuy 4 players. Keeps their
Absolutely.
economy very reserved. You can see the repercussions. Guardian and a Judge are out.
Yeah, but the Viper's Pit still makes this Judge very deadly, so.
True. Very true.
M80 are going to feel pretty comfortable about holding on towards this mid position at A, and in fact, they're going to send 3 members over to watch B, 2 of them in particular playing right at the edge of long, and opening contact. Nisbo just gets one for free.
You just don't expect that. You just can never really anticipate someone's to be playing that spot. Catches them completely off guard.
Oh, the flash being held here by John Cutie. The guard looking to try to break their way on through. EU's watching the cross. EU does get the first. There's the flash follow-up coming through. John Cutie does it with the Guardian. Little tap-tap-tap-a-roo. Upgrades it now to a more formal AR.
Is that your new single coming out on Spotify next week?
It's
the Tap-a-Tap You?
It's another Happy Gilmore reference that you missed from earlier, by man.
It's fine. I thought Tap-Tap-Tap-a-Roo sounded like a new single. I could see it.
Could be. It's not too late.
It's never too late.
30 seconds left.
Okay, so this is better for M80.
Yes.
Now, the thing about it is, can they continue to put this same kind of pressure on when they don't have things like a Judge Viper's pit combo?
True.
I mean, they still have an orbital strike, still have things like a Nightfall, so there's still a lot of tools here for M80 to try to get this through the finish line, but
10 seconds left.
I don't know if I'm convinced yet off these last 2 rounds.
Yeah, it's just getting interesting now. The Gar were very dominant. I mean, they were on a tear to kick off this half on the attacking side. They had a couple of very beautiful A set pieces that were just played as well as you could ever hope as far as how they were layering their utility, how they were using their timings and spacing to just, you know, take control and get spiked down and get in good post-fight positions and then capitalize. But this was a beautiful bait and switch play from John Cutie and EU at Octagon.
Spike down B.
John Cutie.
Old school T1 strategy of don't show anything until 30 seconds left in the round and then hit something.
I mean, that's the thing. Guard can play all styles. I mean, we talked about that multiple times throughout this series, and I feel like that's such an important point to reiterate, is how dynamic they are on this attack. They're different styles that they can bring to the table. Again, so far the bulk of their success has been on the set pieces, but yeah, maybe you do just kind of slow it down, use your map fluency to kind of poke and prod and try to catch M80, you know, in a tough spot where they don't know how to rotate.
Well, this could be interesting. A little poke and prod on both sides of the map simultaneously.
Love it.
The offensive toxin screen kind of covers over through mid. Koala Noob is sniping very forward with the operator on the Brimstone. He sees one, and yeah, huge connection. Trent will drop. And now the guard have to kind of consider what exactly do we do from here, because you don't really have a lot of information on what's still on this A's side. And well, if they peek this, they may get punished. Xander getting one would be fine, but EU pops through. He finds 2 of his own. And now it's just down to Jonah P as them 80 have come to life here in the defensive half.
They just keep running into these bait and switch plays on these choke points that M80 keeps setting up. I mean, last round it was Octagon that they did it. This round it's on short. They just swing off each other so well. And Koala Noob winds up getting 2 operator frags with the Brimstone, so he probably leads the tournament in Brimstone op frags, I would imagine. another fun stat for you. I try.
Knife headshots and
I mean, these are the types of things you don't get on your website of choice, all right? You only get it from your boy Dust here in the broadcast, okay? Let me let you know. As he certainly hit a couple of nice ones this round. I like that the Gar were doing the split pressure early. I mean, I was a big fan of that. It's just, unfortunately, they got picked apart by the op that they probably were not anticipating from Qual, if I had to guess. And then again, there's another bait and switch play pans out for M80. And now they're ahead 11-10.
But it looks like this very well may just be a very quick execute through showers, and Koala Noob seemed to be thinking the exact same thing. So he drops an early molly off, still has a smoke and, more importantly, the orbital strike if he needs it. So he backs up safely into U-Haul to try to hold his life.
Yeah, Nismo actually re-clear showers after the fact as well, which is very interesting. He'll play inside the smoke. Tex does have the big boomstick. The tour de force.
Whoa, early.
Yeah, I'm curious if that was just a stall for some reason. I don't, that seemed really weird.
Well, they're gonna toggle with Seekers right afterwards. That's the hit through mid, actually. It's coming through as Jonah P. Seekers out, and Tex eventually does connect onto Nismo. So now the kills lead to an opportunity for the guard to make their way on towards A or move in towards EU's direction. How many does he get? No, just 1. Follow up, though. John Cutie's got an operator out, and the guard has to be thinking, how many ops do these guys have? 3v2 situation. Spam fire coming out from Qualnoob doesn't quite get the job done. Viper's Pit being placed. Xander catches Tex on the rotation over. We'll have an even 2v2. But look at this Viper's Pit. I mean, you're gonna have a hard time getting net out of that position. Xander's gonna have to wander his way in. A couple of the pre-fire shots are already in, but Qualnoob was looking to see if maybe he could catch net on the other side. Doesn't work out, and we'll go 11-11. Make a wish.
My wish is already being fulfilled, Shift. That's it. We're getting a glorious grand finals between these two North American squads who have been battling it out all year long. Again, they sit at even 2 series apiece, but maybe the Guard own the most important of all thus far, which is a series on land. But this is the true biggest of all. It'll settle the score. One team will be ahead 3-2 in series count, and one team will be moving on the VCT the next couple of years. So I don't really have to do a whole lot of the 11-11, man. I'm getting what I want out of this. I think
Fair
the fans
enough.
are too. Getting some great Valorant here on this map.
Well, here we go. Another different look here from M80. It's going to be Nismo pushing through and deep into showers this time around. Orbital strike out. That is going to block off the front, and Tex catches an ankle. Oh, Nismo tries to break the timing with the blast pack. Doesn't quite work out. And then the follow-up from the showstopper turns this into a 5v3 situation where M80 are going to have to save.
Yeah, they played that orbital strike play again, but this time they used it in a different location. They didn't quite hit through the right side of A at the same pace. So it was a little bit of this small tweak in the details that I think threw M80 for a bit of a loop. I think they were looking to just kind of directly contest showers and catch the Guard staging there, and they really didn't. Texas playing it more back defensively, able to catch some big frags there. Obviously the showstopper Trent also grabbed one. And now it is the Guard at map point looking to go up 2-1 in the series. M80 though still with a shot at bringing this into OT. And again, if they could somehow steal bind from Guard, having no reps on the map, and considering what maps are up next, you start to think that maybe the needle starts to move towards M80 just a touch. But if the Guard can get the job done here on bind, they are certainly no slouches themselves in the maps coming up. So definitely looking to try to
This is a big one, what you're saying.
Yes.
I mean, this round right here could be huge. And the thing about it is the Guard do not have any more ultimates to play with. You've got Seekers and a Nightfall at the ready for M80. They will have no more cheeky operators in play. In fact, it'll just be Tex going uncontested. And for the Guard, it looks like they're going to try to use that, try to catch something off the mid opening. Smokes down early. A little bit of pre-fire from Qualnoob does force out a flash, and that will be the end of that battle.
Trailblazer will make sure that no one's left. It's going to spot 2 players there over towards A side. He spots the Viper and the Brim. So it gives him a little bit of a read lay of the land.
Oh, good prowler.
Very well done.
Poison's off.
I mean,
Holy.
so awkward, so close.
Tex is looking for a pixel to peek through. Not going to work out. He will hold this position at Cubby, though. Xander has backed up to try to help out over towards Shower side. The spike is rotating, though, over towards B. Seekers will be called. The defense is going to get a lot of information off of that, but they rotate almost right into the waiting arms of Jonah P. They flush him out. The isolated kill is good. Flash for John Cutie. He's going to step maybe even into this play a little while longer. Nightfall just to try to assist him, and no, will not be able to do too much. And EU tries to follow up, but the Guard will battle back. 3v3 situation. Tex trying to work his way over, but it's Trent to strike first. Nismo from inside the site gets 2. Now it's just down to Trent, and he will fall. Overtime it is for Bind.
And that was looking shaky the whole way, if we're honest. It didn't seem like the defense was going to hold at Octagon. John Cutie, yeah, he got the flash. Yeah, the Nightfall came in, but they kept facing and taking duels to where the effects of the Nightfall had minimal impact. They were getting rinsed, if we're honest. But then Nismo, with the triple, saves the day and keeps this in contest, and the 2 teams represented there, I guess you could say, brawling it out. This is certainly a massive fight breaking out here on Bind, a map we probably didn't expect to be contested this well by M80, considering we had nothing to go off of, but they hang around and force extra rounds.
And the thing about it is they're starting to build a little bit of familiarity with what they want to do on the defensive side, so this hasn't maybe just been dictated by all offense. Both teams putting it together late in their defensive halves to keep things relatively tight. That may be the difference maker here in this OT. The guard walking up B long
Whoa.
again, and Koala
Down,
noob.
attacker spawn.
I thought for sure he would get at least one, but not the case. And extra information for the guard that the spike is down.
Certainly can't fault him on the crosshair plays. It seemed to be dead on, but just didn't quite pull the trigger quick enough, and it's him going down instead. So advantage guard here on the defense on this first OT half. Spike still lingering over at Fountain. Slowly, we're seeing EU try to get some control of hookah position. Jonah P just playing for info. Jiggling here, does spot a couple. We'll go ahead and back off, just trying to play the numbers.
Rest of the defense not going to move, though. This will be a 4v3 on the site. And a lot of the defensive utility will be spent here. And actually, the Trailblazer doesn't see how many M80 members are still here. So this will be a little bit questionable, I would say, as far as what the guard are facing up against.
Yep.
M80 just waiting for the proper time to hit. On rotation right now is Trent, but the hit is on the way. Oh, what a molly that is. Chips away at so many health pools. Jonah P will follow up and make good on the damage. Well, EU maybe had something to say about it, but only getting 2 leaves this now to a 1v3 scenario for John Cutie, and VALORANT will not allow him to get even one of them. Advantage guard.
Yeah, they handled that very well. They detected the long B presence early. They didn't overplay the hand there. They kept fading back. They kept chaining the utility to keep them at bay. Eventually, they force them through a Molotov. They take a lot of chip damage. And just in general, we are able to see the guard hold on defensively there. And so they will take the advantage. Need this one to take the map. If M80 secure it, we extend the OT. You know how it goes.
Yep, glass cannon for Tex this round here as well, Dust.
That could be interesting. You got to know it's possible, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
It's a risky call, but with that agent, it makes sense.
Oh, first time we've seen this. There's been a lot of back and forth 50-50 battles over towards Showers, but M80 will walk through, barely even spending anything. I don't even know if they used any utility to clear that out.
They dried the whole way, and now they get detection at long with the guiding light. And they're going to split this flank up. They're going to have all routes covered. Shift. This could be very dangerous depending on timing.
All right, here we go. Fireworks to determine if we have extra overtime or if it will be the guard going up 2-1. The hit's still not underway as of yet. I mean, this is perfect from M80. They're just not giving them anything. But the trademark reveals the player on the back. And now all of a sudden, the guard are going to back up, see if they can maybe isolate. The thing they don't know about, though, is that the brim of Koala Noob has made its way all the way over towards Fountain. Nismo still gets one. The teleport gets used to come back over towards A. But the numbers are good for M80. We've got a 5v3.
Yeah, they're able to get across the spike to A at the very least, but they are at a 2-man disadvantage in this post-plant hold. Trent, though, is aggressive inside Heaven, and they're also playing aggressive at elbow. So there's still some ways in for guard here.
Trent got an orb as well. He only needs 1 kill for a showstopper. This could be unbelievably massive. VALORANT, first contact. He just taps at it. No worries. Here comes the follow-up. Tex. Oh, he's flashed and he finds the shot onto Xander. Oh, no. Not like this. All of a sudden, we're down to a 2v2. Showstopper earned for Trent. Doesn't know where to spend it yet. John Cutie on the corner. He takes down EU instead, though. Now the paint shell's re-earned. Timing not going to earn out here. John Cutie would have to hop it right now, and he's not going to be able to. Trent will technically clutch it up for the guard, who take map number 3 in 2 straight overtime.
What a beautiful 5 wins, so 5-2 record. One of those losses was when they tried to experiment with the Harbor Viper like double controller comp that just didn't quite pay off when they lost to Moist Moguls in the second split of Challengers. But when they have played this comp, they're 5-1, and they've beaten M80 head-to-head twice online.
Yeah, fair point.
So it is very possible they could 3-1 this.
Well, opening first blood will work out. Again, the pistols for the guard continue to be impressive. As Tex gets one from range, then backs off very quickly. Does keep his life as the follow flashes are still getting a chance for M80 to get on towards sight. Nismo will get the plant off. Forward play from John Cutie shut down, and M80 are still trying to commit into this, trying to take away that connector play. Not fully working out, though. Now the guard have numbers. Health pool still low for a couple of the members. Koala Noob tapping away. He gets one, maybe more. Oh my goodness, he dashes forward trying to get the reload off, but Trent has him stuck in a corner. Maybe if he had another bullet or two, but not gonna be.
Closer than I thought it was going to be, considering Tess got, I think, the opening 2, right? I mean, he got the first pick definitely on top of the double stack box, and he faded back, and they were controlling that round pretty much the whole way through up until the very end. Woo! Okay.
All right.
All right.
Welcome back, everybody. Wow, what a night we've had so far, but we're ready to get back into the mix. The guard, of course, did take the opening pistol. I know you may have forgotten, but we are back into the action here for round number 2. At least that would be the assumption based on things we do. I think full force buys coming on both sides, if I'm not mistaken, your dust.
It does seem that way. Obviously, the guard won the pistol, so they're able to buy up a little bit here, but we're seeing that the attacking side definitely has something invested into this one. They are definitely a team that likes to roll those stingers, and they're going to try to go B-Link, but they're getting stalled out by some utility.
Oh, that fragment placement gives Jonah a little bit of breathing room. Tex also rotating over through backside halls will find one, and no one checks Jonah in the corner. Trades are decent. Nismo able to get a couple to back, but Tex still creating a lot of time and space for the rest of the team to rotate over, and yeah, no worries there. We're back into the mix, and the guards start us off hot.
Yeah, that revealed 4, that knife did, and then the suck came in, and they were stuck, and that rhymed unintentionally, and everyone got destroyed.
Fair enough.
Sorry, we're trying to work ourselves back to the cast. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's been a bit of rust for them. We've been out left in the rain, but now we're working through it. As again, if you're just joining us, the guard is up 2-1 for the series in this best of 5. In these grand finals, only one can win and only one can move on to VCT for next year. We are kind of on an equal battleground as we kind of debated. You know, both these teams have shown a lot of strength on Pearl throughout the year. The guard owns the head-to-head over M80, having beat them both times they played this map thus far. And they're off to a good start here, 2-0.
Agreed.
M80 into another little force buy situation here, trying to go for a quick A split.
I mean, M80 are going to get a lot of space here initially towards A, but the focus on this defensive retake is going to be quick to come around the back. Koala Noob under a little bit of pressure does dash away from net, so he keeps his life. M80 not going to commit forward through that play, instead regroup over through mid. And they've got the option here. They could actually just try to overwhelm and isolate by hitting this all together or rotating back. It looks like they want to do the former of the two.
The thing is, there's such a forward angle from Tex on B side that they're able to kind of keep this grouping on the A site, as well as they do have the Killjoy utility kind of keeping tabs on B Link. They're also watching for any type of sewers push by net. So they basically have all their bases covered defensively speaking. And this is the one of few teams that have been able to shut down enemies' attack on Pearl.
Here we go, Jonah P stepping in, tries to drop his own fragment. John Cutie just going immediately for the plant. That's a nice call for M80, just trying to give themselves a little bit of a clock to work with, considering the weapons. Nanostorm also keeps us dugout position contested as M80 will back over towards Art side. The guard on their retake now, working their way forward. Lots of utility now in their way all of a sudden as they have to be the ones to clear things out. Good shock dart usage from Trent. Moves the post-plant defense around just a touch. And now it's down to who chows first. And Net will find the first blood. Trent trying to stick for the defuse, but the help comes through perfectly. EU trying to get it done himself, but too many members to deal with, and the guard will start this map off 3-0 up.
That went from very quiet to frags breaking out very rapidly for the guard, as they are going to go ahead and move up 3-0. Again, you got to think about the extra variable that's now in play. The mental fortitude of these two teams to sit through the pauses, sit through, you know, what's gone on so far this game, where both teams essentially stole each other's map picks to kick off the series. Then Bind was the mystery box, where we had no clue what to expect from M80, considering they had never played it before. Koala Noob playing Brimstone for the first time ever in his career. It was a wild ride. But in the end, the guard got it done. And now we're on what could be the deciding map, the final map of these two teams' careers for the year, before they shift their focus on VCT. Whoever becomes victorious, of course, being in that league for the next 2 years, the losers will have decisions to make going forward.
Well, this round, a very important one to start things off early, as the guard will set the tone with the early operator pickup for Tex. Also, a Cosmic Divide available for VALORANT, as the guard defensively will pretty much full stack into control mid. And a number of others may actually consider trying to lurking around the back. Dual command gets spent by Nismo. Offense makes their way over towards B. This is voluntarily given up initially by the guard, but they are trying to contest this post-plant late. And, there may be an opportunity for Jonah P to just slide on through. Koala Noob didn't have the angle locked up. Trades are decent, though. And now it's just down to the long lurk of Net, who will give away his position with a couple of spam shots over to Koaladu. EU on the close corner, they line up! Oh my goodness.
Oh.
That got a little too close for comfort.
Indeed it did. There's certainly going to be a bead of sweat that breaks across the foreheads of M80 on that one. Jonah P nearly stole it away in the mid-round, and Net nearly lines it up for the clutch in the end on top of it. A lot of different ways out of this one, but M80 do get it done, and that was a very needed round. It was starting to look like the Gar were beginning to create that dominant defense they're oh so well known for on this map, especially against M80. They have always been solid defensively against this team. They seem to have the formula on how to hold this team off, but a big attacking round there for M80. They'll follow it up with another full buy, low buy here for the Guard on a couple of their players, Tex and Net. A little bit worse for wear.
But still for Tex, he's only one off of being able to get knives out. So that seems to be the idea here. Tex actually stepping a little bit further forward into that gunfight. Bold decision, but eventually backs down, only getting a little bit of Xander, and now the offense starts to make its quick wrap over towards the B site.
Indeed, they do. All five looking to push. Again, M80 wastes no time. But that up-tempo playstyle looking to go for the attack. A pop flash peek goes wrong. Nismo finds Valen, and now Jonah P's kind of just stuck in the back of the site. Tex will try to join him in the back halls, but they're getting pressured everywhere.
Oh my goodness. It's just so much utility being thrown into this back hallway, and Nismo will eventually step in to clean up the last two remaining defenders on the site. Net, 1v3, still very doable. First shot's decent, almost got the snap down over to EU, but not to be. And with that, M80 will bring it back to 3-2.
And with that, they'll also force Guard to concede. Looks like we should see a save here. While they do have all the ults available, the firepower is not really available. They are going to go a little bit of a halfway approach, you know, get some shares, get a stinger, give yourself some chance, especially if Tex can break out Bladestorm, make a play happen, then you can use those ults if you feel like there's a way back in the round. If not, no harm, no foul. You tie it up, you get a full buy next round, and you have all the ults at your disposal. So, I mean, they really kind of have the dealer's choice on how they want to play this situation out. And so with that, it's still very dangerous for M80 despite having the firepower advantage.
Yeah, Guardian has also been purchased here for Jonah P. So long-range pressure could still come through, but Koalanoob has the operator out, and he will tally the first blood over through A. Trent, I wouldn't think about doing that, brother, and he will hold his ground and will continue 4v5.
Yeah, Koala will continue to try to just hold this A angle, and meanwhile, they are kind of keeping tabs on any type of B push with the positioning of John Cutie. Looks like, again, they just want to gather and trade. That's M80 style. Bunch up and brawl. But we see Trent, great frag. Oh, nearly find another.
Flash out for Jonah P, trying to step into it, but no.
Here.
Good mitigation from M80. Got a little tight for a moment. There we go, 4v2. Prowler will clear out the initial staircase over towards Art side. Net, timing-wise, oh, I'm sure he would love to have that one back. Tech over the top, gets a reset, dives on in, only 3 lives remaining, now just the single one. Can he reset? No. There's a rifle waiting for him, but also EU is also waiting for him. So 3-3, tied up after a quick start from the Guard. M80, 3 in a row.
Yeah, starting to get some life back into them right away, not allowing the Guard to get too out in front. They squared things back up, but again, Tex has an operator. Now there's 4 ults available for the Guard defensively. I also will say that a lot of these round wins have not been easy on M80.
No,
they've had the battle for them. This one was a little bit cleaner, to be fair. I mean, Net had a chance to cause a disturbance, but just didn't quite land the mark. So they survive with 3 players on this round. Their cleanest win yet, I would think, of the half. And this is a big round here to kind of see how this half is going to get controlled.
Wow. Look at all the opening utility offensive for M80 to try to get in towards B-Link here. The only thing in their way is an alarm bot. So that will create some problems here for the Guard to think about. And oh, Tex, talk about wanting one back. He's going to want to try to take it back, but no. Has to dash off. Cosmic Divide comes through for the offense. They'd be looking to go quickly, but Tex still standing tall. Nightfall also in the midst. But Valen from the corner, he's able to go essentially 4 for 2. How big is that with Trent jumping into the action late? Koalanoob now the last one left, and there's nowhere for him to go. Massive props to Tex for holding tall.
Dude, you have to give props for Tex for holding on to his grit despite the initial misses. When he misses that first opportunity, that's a rare miss. He's holding the angle. Someone swings to him. You feel like he hits those 9 out of 10 times. Then he tries to go for the aggressive second peek. That doesn't work either. But is he deterred? No. Tex stands his ground. Look at how much pressure he's in this moment, and he still delivers his second frag onto EU for Trent to play off of. That is just brilliant from Tex. Again, shake off those first couple of misses and just keep that confidence. That's beautiful.
Yep. So now 4-3 the count. Still have a lot of ultimates on both sides and another full purchase coming through here for round 8. Hunter's Fury, Cosmic Divide, Lockdown, all earned and ready to go for the guard, whereas there's a Lockdown and Null Command on the other side here for M80 taking their time this time around.
Yeah, again, M80 usually just like the fast-paced A-hits or fast-paced mid-plays. This time they're kind of doing something in between by slowly approaching middle, but not overshooting either direction just yet. Tex trying to hold this forward angle with the operator over towards art position. Does find the target he was looking for, and Koala knew, but is able to get away. No missing this time.
As the rotation starts to make its way through Link, though, there's no alarm bot here. A lot of the defensive Killjoy utility is actually on the site here. So there will be an opportunity for M80 to get a little bit further forward. Still a very dangerous peak, and it largely would come down to Xander maybe even create a little bit of a space time through long. Null Command out, and Lockdown also getting spent at the same time from the defensive side. Fragment trying to deny it. It's well placed, but no. The defensive lockdown still is here, and oh boy, M80 were banking on that hitting, and now so a detainment comes out. Oh, storms are in. Xander's getting chewed up. Defensive Cosmic Divide is through, and we've got a stalemate on the on the zone.
Indeed we do. M80 finally able to get in on the plant. Hunter's Free though comes in from Trent. Net finds a frag, and things are looking dangerous.
Wow. What a good play from the guard. And it all just, how much of this results in the fragment not landing when M80 thought it would?
I mean, everything. I think 80% of that round was dictated on that alone. I think you called it perfectly. They certainly thought that they were going to melt the lockdown with that fragment. The moment that they don't, a player gets detained, another player gets caught in a nano swarm. Trent's able to pop off. You know, Hunter's Fury, where the clock is very tight and M80 are kind of forced to commit to a plant. Trent's able to use kind of process of elimination to start tagging the right areas. Net cleans up after the tag. Trent finds back Hall's clearance there on Xander. I mean, it was just one of those situations where, yes, it was a little bit of a missed fragment from M80, but the guard took full. They've beaten M80 twice. They beat Union in the playoffs. Their only recent loss was to Moist Moguls, a very strong team in the split of challengers. So again, both teams with a pretty solid resume, both teams fairly comfortable on both sides of the match, statistically speaking, but the guard just look a little bit more amped up right now.
Definitely feels that way. Their corrections coming after the 3 straight rounds from M80 definitely notable, as now all of a sudden the attackers will be unhindered by 3 Stingers, a Spectre, and a Bulldog. Lockdown still at the ready if needed, though. Could provide some opportunities for a post plan if they can find a way to get the spike down.
Oh, timing here. Jonah P nearly caught Valen, able to play Guardian Angel through the smoke spam. And now Jonah P comes forward, Bull. The flash comes through, it's good. Nismo gets a couple, and he's able to get it into a 3 versus 3 and some weapon upgrades on top of it.
Yeah, the trades are decent, all things told here for M80. It's gonna be 2 rifles. Xander is not in position to take the 3rd, but still, there's an opportunity for him to kind of feel things out at A, where this rotation through Art is on the way. Alarm bot will be the first thing triggered. Nano swarms will be held onto by Net, at least initially speaking. Lockdown could be a part of this play here for John Cutie, but yet you call it. Trent around the back. Oh, he gets red! John Cutie sniffs it out, and now Net's stuck in the dugout. He does get away, if only just barely. The hunt is on, and Net punishes to the 2v2. Net gets a second. Now it's down to Xander versus Tex. 1v1 situation. Xander cues it up, but bang! Tex finds him with the op, and that's 6-3 to the guard.
I cannot find words to fully describe how important Net's play was there and how impressive it was. This guy is getting pressured so heavily inside dugout position from utility. He doesn't really have any support anymore because Trent gets caught on the backstab. The man decides to play back through the smoke against John Cutie and is somehow able to find a second frag, and it gives Tex the chance. It gives him a fighting moment to try to win out the 1v1, and he gets it done. A headshot just to add some extra accuracy for icing on the cake, and it's now 6-3. And that was a tense one, and the guard somehow found a way through it.
Thing is, caveat to all that, M80 was just coming in with stingers, so it's still relatively punishing round. You can keep the bank accounts level for the guard. They don't snowball, at least technically speaking. But still, late into this first half, the guard have gotten past the halfway point on their side of the scoreboard. M80 still working with a lot of fuego through mid.
Yep.
And the Prowler will help them get in towards Art again.
Yeah, they like these heavy Art plays. They like to move fast. We talked about that a lot. They're using some good utility to block off the rotation from that angle. They're going to use their own lockdown now as well. That's going to clear out the entirety of B site, basically, other than maybe a sliver of dugout. But look at Nat challenging again.
He hits the head of one. Oh my goodness, Nat's going to get two. So 2 for 2 exchange. Still will allow M80 to jump on. Trent will be detained here backside yellow.
Spike planted.
But all things should be still fine. How do you set up this post plan? Tex backs up but avoids. Oh my goodness, Xander down low initially. Quickscope comes out. Now to a 2v2. EU's on a single point of health. John Cutie fully healthy with light armor. And the retake for the guard is coming in tandem with one another, playing around the back. EU's holding right on top of the spike. Down low, no, EU gets one. Again, on 1 HP, there's the gravity well. Should be an easy finish. Now Valen, does he get a read in the last one? John Cutie in the corner will finish it off. And M80 go to 4.
A labored route to 4, though. Again, another moment where they almost got clutched upon. Net comes up with a big double, playing through the lockdown, putting his team into 3-on-3, and again, you gotta respect the boldness of Tex. Even though he whiffs the Blade Storm, he hits a crazy op shot, nearly hits another there onto EU, but EU holds on. He wants it with 3 frags on the round, and then John Cutie left on the stone unturned, able to finish the job, and so M80 finally catch a little bit of wind in their sails. A really nice execute, and really well-managed post plant.
Yeah, absolutely. Couple of ults available on both sides. Lockdown now for Nets. Cosmo Divide at the ready for Xander. Quality Noobs close to knives. Don't anticipate seeing them here.
Oh, that shot dart.
What a dart, dude. A Trent's utility game off Sova is just, it's unreal.
And he, of course, detects a lot of presence over on A side, and it was certainly M80 looking to go for a faster-paced A play as well as getting Orb. Now they've been slowed down a touch by that utility from Trent. Again, we do have Jonah P kind of jiggle peeking long B just to kind of keep tabs, and they're keeping their A defense in place here.
Wow, that knife detection is massive because this whole setup for M80 was trying to bait something towards B with EU making a move. He's sending out both of his prowlers, but I mean, look at the defense. Jonah's already saying, all right, I mean, if they don't commit in the next 20 seconds, then I'll go back. But for the time being, he can lean towards A. And he will second guess this. Yeah. Thing is, Net's got a lockdown here. This is going to be really problematic for the clock for M80.
Indeed. Yeah, he has nanos to stall, plus the turret to trigger, and then, like you said, the lockdown available, and he's already popped it.
Yep.
And now what are they going to do?
This Cosmic Divide's not going to last long enough to stop the initial contest nor retake. You've got one member on, still in net. Nismo still trying to force himself into the plant. He will sacrifice, likely, his detainment here, but his teammates have kept him safe to this point. Wow, that's actually pretty huge. Cosmic Divide does its job just long enough as Nismo shrugs off the status effects of the detainment. Shot lands for Tex. That's huge to shut down the potential pitch. Dual command spent by Nismo trying to stop the utility early for the guard's retake. Can they win these gunfights at range? That's what it's going to take. Tex turning the tides. Operator is being a huge X factor, but Xander up top. EU down low. They go back and forth. Just down to Valen. For the 1v2, both players are low on health. And Valen will try to get this to half. Maybe even more than that, and no. Koala Noob will spam him down, and round 11 goes the way of M80.
Yeah, you start to get a little bit concerned that the utility with the lockdown and nanos would be a problem, but as you said, that Cosmic Divide lasted just long enough to give Nismo safe passage to get the plant, get the team, but get away safely. and get into good post-plant positionings at long B. Again, while the slight has changed, it's still pretty hard to retake when you have players able to play long B like this. Your only hope is to really try to get that op out and work and use some long-range battles to your advantage. And while Tex was able to get 3 when it was all said and done, it wasn't quite enough.
Get out of
It
my
made
way.
you get the job done. Both teams still fully bought out. Qualu pops the ult. Look at the aggression defensively.
Oh, Tax in a little bit of trouble here. Qualu maybe looking for more, and he finds it. Oh my, Trent Steps tries to touch timing, but that won't work out. Only gets the 1 trade. Valen trying to create a line in the sand for this defense to get into position, but there really is no one left.
Wow.
And the bold aggression from M80 is going to work out here likely for round 12.
It's just one of those rock, paper, scissors type situations, wasn't it? Both teams elect to fight heavily on long B early round, and both teams had the numbers there, and so it's just going to be an all-out brawl, and M80 comes out on top as they so often do in those chaotic situations. That's what they pride themselves on, being a wild, aggressive team that can handle the chaos, and they really pave a way into this half. They were looking well behind, and now it's all even.
Switching
Oh, yeah.
sides.
Wow. What a half. Took us a while to come back from the pistol, but once we did, it was all action. So we swapped the sides, and now it's up to who cracks the code early. They get favor on the pistol towards the guard, statistically speaking.
Sure.
But M80's defense, like you continue to mention, it's just as good as their offensive side is. I mean, it's just kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of another.
Yep, very true. We've seen them do both at different points in time throughout the year. The guard has typically done it one way or the other. The first time they beat M80 was because they had a 9-round defensive half first half and didn't really have to do much work on the attack to close.
Right.
The next time around, they started on attack and won 8 rounds and didn't have to do much on defense to close. This time around, they're kind of somewhere in the middle, Chip, where they are going to have to actually do some hard work to close out
Right.
the game. They
And
don't
that's the-
have like a massive advantage to work from.
And that's the thing about both these two teams. On these individual comps for each team, they've dominated the competition. So even though M80 have some close results with this comp, they have looked really, really good. And how about the full mid control coming out? This is all about how long can Nismo stall. That's simply it. If he could stall and support with these stars, this flank could be nasty.
They're doubling back through Art, though, but it's still going to be a flank potential. It'll be interesting to see if they can pick up on Koala Noob, who's just playing this corner. He never triggered the turret, so the guard have no idea how much space M80 may have taken in the middle. They need to check this corner.
Yeah.
They absolutely must, and they do.
Oh, just a wide swing from Valen. Huge heads-up play. EU, though, may catch a bit of timing here. A little pinch setup over the top, but the flash comes through. Xander gets pulled off, fragment in, and Jonah P will use that as a chance to collect the kill and push through his fragment for a quick rotation to possibly catch
30
someone else
seconds
defensively through their spawn. And oh my goodness, Nismo has absolutely no idea, and why would he?
How could you? Yeah, how could this man literally Usain bolted through his own fragment and then gets in the back lines and wreaks havoc, and now it's just 2 left for M80 to fight in this pistol round against the 4 of the guard with the post plant.
That little shoulder gets checked. Gravity well. Shock dart used in combination to make sure no one's holding on for halfway defused. Valen, here comes the check. It's John Cutie, the opening double, though. Hold on a second. Oh my goodness, hold on a second. Just down to Trent. John Cutie gets to the halfway recon bolt down, and the shot lands. No way does it end like that. The guard take the pistol, survive the 4v2, and take the edge in the second half.
Ain't no easy rounds today on Pearl. With so much on the line, every single moment seems to take everything from these two squads to stay alive. But Trent does get the clutch. The crowd is anthing. I mean, you have to be when you see rounds like this. It looked like the guard had that one dead to rights, 4-on-2 post plant, but then M80 come out swinging, really challenged nicely, but the guard do just hold on. But now we have the force up from M80 with these marshals and Ghost. Not looking to lie down, looking to fight right away.
Yeah.
They know how costly that round was, Chip.
The interesting thing about this setup is both marshals went to B long here, so it will just be the Ghosts in and around A. And against SMGs, a Bulldog and a Guardian, that's a tough battle. Early rotation from Koala trying to get there. Aldrone scouting things out. One tag comes through, but the guard does not find the connection on the kill, and they're going to back away.
Yeah, they just don't know how much else is there, right?
Sure.
They were able to spot one. They didn't spot enough. They didn't get to clear out enough corners to feel confident in laying into the A side, but they've thrown enough of a feint to make M80 bite down and respect that it could be an A execute, and this is maybe going to give them the timing window they need to just splurge onto this B site with free passage, as they're all coming through long now. Just one player stands with the Marshall between them and the spike plant. It's going to be EU.
Oh, misses his first chance. Does keep his life. Doesn't take any damage. Oh, second opportunity, but even though a body shot lands, the guards still find the first 2 kills. Spike will be planted here. Spam shots coming out. It actually stops Jonah P from planning initially. He's down to critical health. This is still very doable, pending, of course, they can find kills. And the problem is the post plant all retreats back over to ramp side.
Yeah, they're so low on health. You're right. These Marshals at range could definitely maybe get something done, but they do get away safely. VALORANT catches the cross on Nismo. That should do it. Should being a keyword.
Yeah,
And it does.
Full flood. Wow. Okay. Force buy doesn't quite work out here for M80, though again, it's not really, you know, a 1-for-1 force buy. They're still going to be able to afford quite a bit here coming into this next round, but they didn't make it as punishing as they think they were hoping to.
Yeah, this is like a pretty decent bonus round. It's 4 rifles. One of them is a Guardian, one of them is a Bulldog, but still, they're not tied down to SMGs. Although Jonah P does decide to spec down the one.
Oh, you
to make sure you get some utility. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Placing swamp grenade.
The selfless teammate dropping the rifle over to Valen. And he's on a heater right now, why not?
I'll say. Quick dash through here. Control over through A. Quick rebuttal, though, from the guard, making a play in towards Art.
And look at what Texas has done in the meantime.
Respect this, yeah. Oh, over the top. Lots of damage. Exchange. Oh, my goodness. And then Valen follows up with a second. Fragment down. Valen getting a lot of damage his way. M80 still have a chance to rotate quickly. They have not allowed the spike to be planted as of yet. Cosmic Divide could be used here for Valen if they feel like they need it. Trent sees everything. Cosmic Divide will come through immediately afterwards. And actually, a couple of the shots do tag John Cutie, and M80 may need to consider saving here. Most of they will.
Yeah, they are going to tuck their tail between their legs and kiss this round goodbye. They just don't have a way back in. Dude, I have to say, there's no stat for this, but the amount of times we've seen Tex miss his first opportunity, but then keep his composure and find the follow-up chance, it's been remarkable this game.
Absolutely.
I mean, you look at the first half, he had a couple of rounds where he kind of maybe missed the mark on this initial op shot or two, or maybe he didn't quite land the blades that he wanted, but he'd follow up somehow with a nasty shot or two. And that tap he got over the top of the site after kind of whiffing his first chance on the boost was brilliant. And it opened the floodgates. And the guard never wavered from that point forward on that round. What a beautiful play.
So another 3-round opener to our second half. The guard doing exactly what...
But M80, again, a formidable opponent on Pearl. Very comfortable here, very easily could turn this thing back around and challenge for a 5th map. No doubt in my mind they're capable. So much talent on this squad. They've been so resilient all year long, winning the midseason face-off, winning challengers, taking some knocks their first couple of moments on stage, but then making a crazy lower bracket run to get back to these grand finals. You cannot count them out.
EU sees some information, backs up very quickly. Seas will be spent here trying to lock this in place, followed by the Haunt for intel. Help on the way. Xander's these fish stepping in right next to it, and Xander gets 2. Joda does at least provide 1 trade. EU still alive, if not a little worse for wear, down to 70 HP. Trent trying to cut things off by playing a bit forward and towards Flower side. The same was the idea for Valen. Trent finds some success on his side, but it's only marginal. Down to Jonah P. It's the first, but no. The follow-up from EU from behind is good, and M80 get back on the winning side.
Like I said, don't count them out. While the guard were certainly getting a little bit of wind in their sails and inching towards the finish line, M80 are still around and still a team that can get the job done. They've shown their composure and perseverance multiple times throughout these last couple of weeks, facing the odds of the lower bracket, battling their way through, getting revenge against Union. And again, this is a rivalry in North America that we know can really go either way, as it has been an equal series thus far, 2-2. As far as overall best of 3 specifies against each other so far this year goes. Credits are a little bit vulnerable right now for M80. They're not out of the woods yet, despite a big win there.
Yep. but they do bring a lot of firepower here, including the operator, which will be unmatched this time around. Early, Null command being spent by Jonah P. Flashes to follow, and Tex just dashes right on in, finds the first blood. And then backs out where he finds Koala Noob waiting for him. Holy, this was all just a fake.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, this is all intentions towards B, so
That
Tex
was
has gotta be smiling ear to ear.
That was a fake cream sundae, and it got everything it needed. It got the whipped cream, the sprinkles, the cherry on top, you name it, they had it. It was a part of it. It was tasty. And now they're gonna be up 10-7.
Yep. Holy
Dude,
cow.
the amount of damage Tex did there. And also the wherewithal to like entry quick and then immediately divert back to art and then just catch Koala Noob in such a tough spot. Like, you can't expect Koala to do much there.
No, not at all. I mean, and the thing about it was, we also see John Cutie play that spot a lot. So, I mean, you have to know, I think, if you're Tex, that you back up, you watch that cross, there's going to be a high chance you're going to make contact again.
Yep. But just to be, instead of taking it further through sight, to take it back through art,
Agreed.
that's
Yep.
so brilliant, man.
Yep.
It's a nice little change up.
Tex isn't done at the moment. Although EU Nismo will force him to be done. So a couple of fadeaway kills will see M80 carry these 3 weapons into the next round.
Yep, got the op back too, is the big part.
Yep. And it's going to be a judge for Xander here, maybe, thinking about it.
He does get dropped a rifle from a teammate. I believe that was Nismo who was able to drop him. It was either him or John Cutie, not sure. Either way, they're able to get a full buy here, but their credits are running scarce. If they lose this round, they are in a lot of trouble.
Yep, looking
When
at
it comes to spending
7-11.
power.
Yep. Important round, very important round. Opening knife can be sent right on over to top of A. EU's caught by that, backs up immediately. There'll be no further focus. Offensive gravity well, not going to catch anybody on the opening entrance towards A. Aldrone to follow. The guard maybe showing a bit of pressure, but once more, they're just here to collect orbs and back off.
But here's the problem. Quality was pushed all the way up Long B in the meantime. This is something that M80 have not had in the past when they felt this early A pressure. They didn't have map control for the intel to really be able to kind of understand exactly what they were up against. Now they do. Quality has a great position. The only thing that's vulnerable is B-Link, but there is that alarm bot at least keeping tabs on it.
The thing is, the guards should be very familiar with this setup. They pulled the exact same thing out on their defensive half.
Sure.
So they deal with the alarm bot. Star gets put over towards B-Link. They're thinking that maybe M80 are going to rotate over. That's not the case. We're going to get a 5v4 on site here. Darts coming out, stepping forward with Xander and EU, but they don't trade out well. EU still trying to hold the ground for as long as it be possible, but there's just everything being thrown at him. John Cutie doing what he can to hold on, but he can only do so much. And now Koala Noob is left on his lonesome 1v3, and the team will make the call, save the op. We're going to have to use that to hopefully win the next round.
He's going to be the hero next round. He's going to have to be. That's like basically the one main weapon they're going to have. They might be able to force buy a little bit around it. I'm not sure with their loss bonus now. Maybe there's still some ways back in. But you're going to be put in a tough spot this next round because the guard are up 11-7. You do not want to give them free map and series points. So you're going to want to spend probably every cent you have. But what is it going to leave you with? It's going to definitely leave you a lot worse for wear compared to these last couple of rounds, where the guard, honestly, man, have really picked up the pace. And usually they use these types of plays for kind of change-ups, but they've actually made it the forefront of their offense this half. And hold the focus. Quality may not save this up.
Wow. Okay.
That was narrowly saved.
Wow. But you have to have it. I mean, and the thing is, those kills actually get him, what, on knives right now, right, too? So he's got extra kill potential? Okay, there's chances here that M80 can still bounce back into this one, but everyone else is going to be pretty worse for wear.
Yeah, indeed they are. Stingers, aplenty, Sheriff for EU.
One off the knives.
The thing is, if Koala would have had a rifle, you could drop it and have knives, and that would have expanded their weapon pool. But because he has op, you don't really want to drop that to anyone else. You want Koala to have it, so you can't really spread the weaponry in the same way.
Opening contact, trying to come through, and it will through mid-map. Tex gets one in the follow-up flash. Uh-oh. Not good news here off the rip for M80. It's going to be a 5v3 situation, and I think all eyes are looking over to Quality. He's going to have to try to do something amazing. He's going to have to win this round.
And look at M80. They have to make this fast rotation over towards the A side of the map. They have to respect the pressure that they have felt. The thing is, they've made the right call. The guard are playing right into it. They have no presence anywhere else on the map. They have a turret watching their mid flank, but they have no, real control. They don't know what's going on the B side, so they're going to commit to an A hit, and they're going to run into the stack. This could be a problem.
Yeah. the divide goes up. Oh, Quality actually doesn't pull the trigger on the first shot. Doesn't make a difference, though. Xander still finds the kill, and now, yep, they do. Full rotation back, but M80 may try to meet them around mid. You've got John cutting off the rotation. He's in a good spot for this, catching one out with the knife, but nothing further. And now all of a sudden, the guard need to make a choice. Is it going to be B or is it going to be A? And they've chosen incorrectly. Xander's going to catch another on knife. Quality there trying to set up and out of the 1v1. Net's going to think he's got time to go all the way back, and
he does.
Quality is going to try to, again, predict this.
Bot coming back.
Plant will extend the clock. Quality, first opportunity, takes the breath out of Net, and M80 a huge round.
Oh man, the guard running to the stack, realize it, try to back off. They actually have a pretty good exchange out in the middle, all things considered, but that B-Link push, they were not expecting Xander in the corner. They did not have really that much time to check it efficiently either. I mean, the clock was running pretty low. And then, yeah, Koalanu doesn't even need any time in that clutch. He finds it the first chance he gets. And that's going to keep it on this next round. It could be a serious decider in all reality. Both teams have 2 ults to their name, both with the lockdown. Hunter's Fury for Trent. EU has his ult as well. Trent can kind of cancel out John Cutie as far as lockdown's concerned, but he can also use it to help pave the way forward for one of these attacks.
Opening look, I'll drawn out. Oh, bodyguard from Valen works out. Xander holding close. Actually, the fragment is a problematic part, but oh, he gets behind the play. Oh, what a pinch setup that is. Xander getting 2, EU the 3rd. And just like that, opening first blood countered in numbers with M80, but the secondary fight rings out, and it's Valen who gets the guard to championship point.
Bro, it's the guard beating M80 by playing like M80. They're just barreling through some of these moments, and even though they got bludgeoned inside B-Link, they had no business winning this round. Xander and company run them right through the Vitamix, and it does indeed blend. But then the push through long from Valen and Trent. The exchange is back and forth. Valen winds up with 3 when it's all said and done. And despite the odds, despite how bad things looked after that B-Link battle broke out, they win. And now look at M80 facing elimination. 4 chances to try to force OT, but look at the low buy they have.
Yeah.
And they're going for B-Link again. They just don't care.
Oh boy. Okay. Can they work their way through, catch a piece of timing here? Nightfall gets sent over towards long. The only player watching this cross through B-Link would be Nismo, but the guard, they say, no, let's not bother with this. Let's set ourselves up for success.
Yep, they're gonna double back. Maybe look for the A split.
Oh, Net
gets, you know, a little bit eaten up there, but able to escape. A is gonna get tested, and there's really only one player defending. And he doesn't have a comfortable place to play from. He's getting challenged from both sides.
Stays away from a lot of the opening damage. Here comes the hit. Lockdown gets spent. Xander trying to hold inside this tight area. John Cutie also stepping in. Damage dealt, and Xander's gonna get 2 from behind. Trade comes through from Trent, but the damage has been dealt. M80 will get a handful on the opening approach. Spike gets dropped. John Cutie still staying safe behind the Cosmic Divide. Valen and Net still working this one back. Be a 2v4 situation.
Spike planted.
And the plant comes through. Nismo from behind gets the first. And now it's just down to Net on 49 HP. Defensive lockdown spent. Net gets the first. Flash out. Timing not there for Net, and that's going to lead to Quality getting the defuse.
And they're just never really able to fully clear the site. Xander actually stayed hidden. I thought that Xander was going to get pinched because there was some presence coming through long. But somehow Xander able to kind of just stay alive towards the long side of A. And when they decided to force the plant through Art, Xander never really got checked that long. He was able to just, you know, turn around and pop off 2, stop the spike from being planted for a time, buy time for rotations, and ultimately keep M80 in the hunt. That was a very difficult round to face, considering their firepower and considering just the heat of the moment, what this means, how far behind you are in such a critical time. But Xander makes a big play. And now there's still some hope.
Small lifeline for now. A lot of work to be done here. Koala Noob looking for an early first blood, but no, not gonna happen. Aldrone trying to follow on in. And now Trent tries to get to work, dancing with the devil. Koala Noob slips away. Hit still on the way though, and the follow from Tex is perfect. John Cutie still holding over towards Art Stairs. Can he find anything on this reopening? EU gets his utility and Prowler's gonna connect. The follow-up from Nizzle from behind. Oh, they're gonna find a couple of trades. To the 3v3 we go. Jonah P, Net trying to hang on. Pinstripe goes the kill feed. Shock Dart chips away at EU, but the health pull for Net is what's most critical at the moment. Time becoming an issue. Shock Dart sent out preemptively. No one home. Start gets placed. It's a Nebula. EU tries to hang on to it, but no! It's Trent to find the final kill! It's been 471 days since the rookies made it to ranking.